only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. This is the Morning Extra. I'm glad you're here. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Georgia, Texas tomorrow. I cannot wait. God, can't wait.
You going to find your way there somehow, some way?
You know what? My wife, because my son is going over, it's like he's driving over for Augusta to Athens. He's, obviously has a bunch of buds that go to Georgia, but then all of his College Charleston buddies are coming. I mean, he's going to be running around with like a group of 50 people. I don't know how you do that.
It's a big game.
I know, but it'll be fun. It'll be great. No, my wife, she said, well, what if we go over, this was last night, she said, what if we go over tomorrow night and go to that basketball game? And we were looking at, tickets, and you could find tickets for like $15.
Yeah, it's not hard to get into Stegman Coliseum.
And it's Georgia Tech, and we looked at the tip time, 9 o'clock.
Ooh.
No, thank you.
Oh, no.
So we will be home. We're not doing anything. We have almost no plans.
Oh, our old house, we could get from the front door to Athens in about 45 minutes.
Jeez, really?
Because, we would just head right down Buford Highway and cut right up, and we were there. It'd be very quickly. And so the girls used to go to a lot of volleyball matches. So when Georgia Tech would play Georgia, they would go on a regular basis. Now we live a little bit further north. We could still do it kind of similarly. But the idea of trying to get out of Athens, if I don't have a ticket, is always the daunting part where I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, no.
Getting in, not a problem.
Yeah.
Getting out, kind of an issue.
Yeah, right. No, thank you. So we'll be watching from home, but maybe texting back and forth with my youngin', about the game and just making sure he's alive.
Sure.
Small minor details.
Just need a little proof of life here and there.
That's right. Exactly.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, just make sure there. No, so but can't wait to watch it. God, can't wait.
Yeah, I got the wife and daughters. They're going to a musical tonight.
Okay.
And I'm the king of I buy 3 tickets.
Yeah, you've told me this story before.
I bought 3 tickets for Hamilton. They went to Hamilton.
Yeah.
I got 3 tickets for this show. They go to this show.
What is this? Do you know what? Do you even know what it is?
This is Hadestown.
Hadestown? Like I know.
So
about
it's over at the Fox.
Okay.
So them and another 1,000 people will be going to that one. So that's my big plans for tonight. It's going to be sit back, watch a little basketball, wait for college football Saturday.
Heck yeah, dude. I love the way that sounds. Hadestown retells the Greek myths of Orifice and some of the other fellas.
There you go. Close enough.
Well, I can't pronounce.
It's a dramatized version. It tries to make Greek mythology and turn it into like everyday people.
Yeah, there we go. I like it.
So it's done well, and they like musicals, so that's how we got it lined
up. Yeah, I'm not a guy that's like, hey, can we go to a musical? But when I go, I enjoy them. I do like them. No, you don't dig them at all.
So it's the only reason I always buy
smart.
3.
No, you're smart to do it. I like it.
Is this the 3rd time this week that Sisyphus comes up on the show? There you go.
That's right.
Feel pretty good about my knowledge of Greek mythology.
Yeah, there you go.
But, I'm not looking to go to a show.
Just don't care about the musical part of it.
No, I'm going to go home, watch Golden State and San Antonio play again.
We're doing, we did pick up tickets because I love Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, nice.
There's a Fleetwood Mac. Wait, it's an orchestra basically that takes different bands, contemporary bands, and they do their music. The orchestra does, and it's in like this old church that's now a concert venue. And I have no idea where it is. Somebody will know.
I think I saw an ad for this. Is it called Fleet Mac Wood?
I don't know.
I just saw that scrolling yesterday. I was like, I just kind of giggled. I was like, oh, okay.
He was just told where he has to be and what time.
Well, no, my wife got him because she knows I love Fleetwood Mac. So she was like, hey, and so it's all by candlelight. So is that what you saw?
It looked like that on the video.
So maybe so. And
the phones are listening so hard now it's like pre-cog advertising.
That's right. This does sound like if there was not such a thing as a baby making retreat, this is how it'd be invented.
Yeah, there you go. So going to see Fleetwood, and this is coming up, I think, in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's by candlelight, Fleetwood Mac Orchestra. I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited about this thing.
I've already offered. We've got a Doors cover band that is playing.
Yes, I will.
Over in Cumming Town Center.
Okay.
And so we have a couple of our friends that are driving up there, and I think I'm going to reach out to them and be like, hey, why don't y'all just crash over at our house?
When is that?
Tonight.
Oh, it's tonight.
Tonight.
That might be.
Yeah.
That's a strong possibility. My wife's
the kids, the wife leave the house. I might find myself a little bit of an Uber over to Cumming City Center.
Absolutely. Love me 2 times, baby. Oh, that's so good. I love the Doors. Like, I love the Doors. This is how much I love the Doors. When I was in Paris I was on Liberty. We had pulled into Toulon, France, and I tried to see everything I could in Toulon. Took a bullet train over to Marseille and then up to Paris. And while there, I mean, you see all the sights, of course. But I went and found the apartment that Jim Morrison died in.
Of course you did.
And then I went to the graveyard.
Did you want to go and lay in the place where he...
No, not necessarily that. But I was just like, okay, I just want to... Because I've seen the movies, I've read the books.
Then you flew back to Dallas, went to Dealey Plaza. No. Walked all that.
I do want to do that, though.
Found the rental home of... Lee Harvey.
Yeah, no, I would not be opposed to doing
to L.A. and went to the Nicole Brown Simpson home.
Yeah, I think I would. That's maybe one I'm not quite as interested in.
It's all kind of creepy to me.
Yeah, a little bit. So, but yeah, I went and found and a doctor was living there. It was, I think it's 17 Rue was the name of the address of the apartment, and then right over to the cemetery, and of course it's a bit creepy because the cemetery's
from laid on the grave.
Jimmy, I miss you. No, but they have all the spray paint arrows, Jim, this way. It's so you're defacing these.
Yeah, it's supposed to be sacred, but
Jim Morrison, and still to this day,
it's an icon.
Yeah, and all these spray painted Jim this way, the Doors this way, and all the poetry and stuff. It's creepy, weird, disrespectful, and cool all at the same time.
So 7 o'clock at the Lou Saab Center will be the Dirty Doors.
The Dirty Doors.
Authentic Doors tribute band.
Okay.
Based in Atlanta.
Dude, that's awesome. I would love to see them. That may hit the radar.
Yeah, 7 to 9. 7 to 9,
all right. Free show. It's free too, right?
Yeah.
All those downtown shows are like that and free. I love it.
I might make my way over there.
I've not been to that little amphitheater. Have you been there?
It's nice, yeah.
I hear good
very
things
open
about
air.
It. Yeah.
It's cool. You got the backdrop of whatever. It's not a mountain, but it's it just looks cool with the backdrop behind it in that area of Cumming.
Yeah, I love it over there, man.
Nobody move. We're out of space.
No, that's right. Absolutely. The vacancy sign is off.
That's right.
People are going to be just leaving New York in droves. So, yes, please don't come here.
No, not at all. Now, we are building some more stuff around us. And listen, I'm all about progress. But I'm going to put a limit on this thing. As your friendly neighborhood dictator, I'm going to tell you, like, some of these neighborhoods, you fill them up. Once we start packing it up, I'm going to say that's enough.
That's right.
No more.
I like friendly neighborhood dictators when they make sense. Like obviously, the CCP makes no sense whatsoever. That kind of governance.
Well, I think they're brilliant. They've managed to take, I don't believe it to be a billion, but they've managed to take somewhere like 500 million people and got them to keep quiet.
Yeah, they do.
So whatever they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of communism. I guess my whole point. But a friendly neighborhood dictator making good decisions that make sense for people. Too many people were.
That's right. Like if I ran the HOA and I was like the only person.
Yeah.
And somebody came to me and said like, "Hey, Los, I'm really looking to build deck." I'd be like, composite only. He'd be like, well, that's going to triple the cost.
Yeah.
I'd be like, tough.
That's right. Get it done right or don't do it. I'm with it. I'm with you, dude. I love it. I think it's great. Dictator new. And now we've got this new real challenge. Here, Bill Gates told us climate change is a scam, is a hoax. He finally admitted it.
We're 2 weeks removed from the hopes and dreams of people out there who were wearing their mask and flying their flag, and now they're like, what do you mean we're done with climate change?
What do you mean it's a hoax?
Huh?
I bought in. I've spent 20 years.
I bought a hybrid and then I bought an EV.
Right now, there's a new report out there. Buckle up, y'all. The Gulf Stream could be near collapse. And you know what would happen if the Gulf Stream were to collapse?
Oh, I remember reading this. We'll
get new ice age. We're back to the 70s.
Back to the 70s where the ice age is coming.
Where it all began, man. They were like, well, look, the new climate hoax didn't work, so let's repackage the old one.
Let's try the ice age again.
Wasn't that the piece of
I thought we were heating up. No, we're not heating up.
No, not anymore.
Now we're cooling off.
That's right. But they did say that because of the ice age, the coming ice age, that it would raise sea levels. And I was like, well, wait a minute, what? I thought that would reduce, because it's going to be solidified, right?
Well, it was going to get so hot that it was going to melt the ice caps and that would raise sea levels. Now it's going to get so cold that it'll raise the sea levels.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm just trying to do the math, and I'm not good at math. And it just doesn't work out, man. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, this is a world that we've had the polarization, the poles have flipped. All right, like that has gone on. You're like, oh, what's the big deal about that? Just all your measurements when it comes to the longitude and latitude of the entirety of the world just completely change.
Nothing big.
No big deal. No big deal. It's fine.
Just like the Gulf Stream. It's collapsing. No big deal. It's fine. You know what? It's funny. It made me think of what you said yesterday about getting a new game plan. They need a new game plan.
New game plan.
They've got to find something.
You go to an old book.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody else. Like the whole idea. Like you're staring at two different game plans. Okay, imagine your football team.
Yeah. Here they are. Here's one.
And
here's the other.
One script is run every play exactly the same that we ran the game before where we lost 50-0. Or the other game plan just says communism. Now, I know communism doesn't ever work.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And I know you got beat 50-0 in the other game plan.
Yeah.
Maybe we look into an alternative game plan.
Like a third. Like bringing in a third game plan.
Maybe a third game plan.
Maybe thinking it a different direction. Maybe asking people, like, what do y'all think? Neither one of these work. Let's try something different.
I mean, if what you keep coming up with keeps losing,
yeah.
At a certain point, when do people get rebellious? Say, why are we thinking this way? They took a story in the last 48 hours. They took a story from June and just reissued it in terms of Donald Trump and the Epstein files. It wasn't any different than the story was in June.
No, that's
they just redid it.
And there are even Democrats admitting that on cable news. I kept seeing clips pop up.
CNN was all over it. They're like,
yeah,
what are y'all doing?
Well, CNN, like, don't you think they're probably like, I'm afraid we're going to get sued. Let's make sure. Let's be overt about this.
They actually started reading what they were supposed to read in terms of let's make sure to issue out, here is the truth behind this, so that if there ever is, I don't know, maybe a president who sits in office who's litigious, we don't catch one.
Ask the BBC.
Ask the BBC.
Buddy, those guys.
We were talking about groveling yesterday.
Yes, they were. They were like, we're such a reputable organization. This was completely by accident, And I'm like, no, first of all, no, it wasn't, and no, you're not.
We didn't cover this that much only because it's just regular. It's no surprise, and it's across the pond, and it's all the things that you say. But the BBC took 3 portions of Donald Trump's speech on January 6th. They took a portion from early, middle, and then 50 minutes in, clumped them all together, and made it sound like he was trying to incite a riot.
And now a $1 billion lawsuit, at least threat of a $1 billion lawsuit, and everybody is panicked. All the heads of the BBC have all resigned. I mean,
yes, their CEO was like, "I'm done.
I'm out." Telling the whoever runs all their content, "I'm out." Like, they've had a pretty mass exodus. I want to give you just a quick quote from CNN last night, just to punctuate the point. We want to be very clear. Trump did not receive or send any messages. He has not been accused of any wrongdoing with Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell. Like that's their statement as they're talking about the segment, because they're so horrified.
So MSNBC even this morning, Epstein returns at the worst time for Trump. No. Y'all are out of ideas, and you turned him, all the things that they talk about. Oh, my God, he's a fascist. He's an autocrat. You gave him more power in the last 43 days.
And continue to do it.
You're feeding the monster. I'm telling you, the only thing that can take out Donald Trump is Donald Trump.
Without a doubt.
And so whenever he steps on his his own ween, he's got to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, like he's the only one. It doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what you do. You can come up with, okay, let's come up with the next controversy we're going to do. All it does is it takes that hardcore MAGA person and they grip him even tighter.
The crazy thing is, like you just read the Super on MSNBC. We watch this crap, so you don't have to. But tomorrow is the day that they're flipping the switch to MS Now.
Yeah.
So what happens tomorrow? I'm so curious about this. Does that Super go away? Do they go more balanced? What happens tomorrow? Does it look like the same crap that we're getting today, or is it just going to? Because otherwise, if that's the case, they're just rebranding and it's going to be the same bull crap, then they're going to have the same bull crap ratings. They're going to do nothing. Nothing will change for them, and they'll eventually be sold and go out of business.
I would imagine that they try and center, because that's the whole idea when you're trying to sell.
But if you're doing that tomorrow, if you're going to start that Saturday, why not start it today? Why not start Friday? No, leading in, man, like a soft opening.
Because no one watches cable news on Saturday.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
No one. It's weird, the cycle that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, ESPN can't wait for Friday night. Because ESPN, nobody watches ESPN during the week in terms of how it works. Yeah. And then Friday, live content. Saturday, Sunday, that's
their sweet spot.
Right into Monday night. That is their sweet spot.
Yeah.
Cable news works differently.
Yeah, it's during the week.
By the time we get to Friday, cable news is done. Mm-hmm. Nobody starts watching it again until Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So why not rebrand and, all right, we're going to roll it out on Saturday.
Right.
Soft opening.
Yeah. I'm so curious. What do you think they're going to center up a little bit? Do you think that's...
If they're serious about selling, I believe so. I don't know what version of that could possibly be.
I don't either. I mean, what does center look like for them? 80-20? Going the opposite way? Like, we're still 80% communism, 20% we'll have somebody with a difference of opinion on here and maybe let them speak? I don't know. I mean, it's still a bad ratio.
There's another station in town that's for sale, and you probably noticed when they ditched Rush Limbaugh and went full on vagina news, because they were like, "Oh, we got to sell. We can't be too conservative."
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Dickey Broadcasting doesn't do that.
Don't have to. We're not for sale. 6 o'clock hour is brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett, Tug and Los until 10. Who's the imposter playing the role of AOC? Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra, Neil Bortz, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Extra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
It's midnight and the phone rings. It's a loved one calling from jail. They had a little too much fun at the holiday party and got pulled over. Now what? Time to call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. A Second Chance will get your loved one home quickly. For 20 years, they've been helping folks with 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham and are available 24/7. For fast, professional, discreet services, call 404-BAILOUT. That's 404-BAILOUT or visit atlbail.com. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Fall is in the air, and Central Heating and Air Conditioning is making it the perfect time to upgrade your comfort. For a limited time, you get up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit. That's right, savings up front and no interest for 5 whole years. A brand new carrier system from Central delivers dependability, efficiency, and comfort every family deserves. Central Heating and Air Conditioning have set the standard in heating and cooling for over 3 generations. And now's your chance to bring that comfort home with the best savings of the season. These dual incentives don't come around often, so act now. Call 770-GET-HEAT today. That's 770-GET-HEAT. Or visit centralheat.com, centralheat.com. Upgrade your comfort, lock in your savings, and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts. Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Better Than Black Friday savings are here now at Aikens Ford in Winder with $15,000 off MSRP on select 2025 Ford F-150 XLT Crew Cab 4x4 pickups through November 30th. Hi, this is Brad Aikens, and you also get Ford's 10-year limited factory warranty and no additional charge. Stock number 14142, MSRP $69,502 with approved financing in your 1995 renew or trade. Dealer retains factory rebates plus government fees. Ford's limited warranty is 10 years or 100,000 miles. See dealer for details. Visit us today at AikensFord.com.
Georgia Tech men's basketball single game tickets for the 2025-26 season are now on sale. Secure your seat in the Thriller Dome to watch head coach Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets take on ACC opponents at home like Clemson, Wake Forest, and North Carolina. Go pass tipped away, stolen, high post, Dongo. Dongo striding in, two-hand slam. Save your seat for all the on-court action at RamlinRack.com/tickets. Sting 'em.
Attention extra listeners. The end of the year is closing in. Are your retirement plans ready? We at Master Plan Retirement Consultants are holistic retirement planners, including income and growth planning, tax strategies, and estate and legacy planning. Each piece of the retirement puzzle must fit together cohesively because we know a change in one area can inevitably affect the others. Our boutique team serves you with fiduciary care, ensuring every step moves you closer to a confident, sustainable retirement. Don't wait. There's still time to adjust your plan before year end. Schedule your complimentary consultation now at masterplanretire.com. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Don't just ride apart from the crowd, travel above it. The spacious, sumptuous 7-seat GLS SUV wraps thoughtful innovations in ruggedly elegant style and refined luxury. From its bold grille to its LED tail lamps. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLS 450 4MATIC SUV. Just $929 per month for 36 months with $87.33 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration, now through December 1st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through December 1st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
I'm Ashley Dvorkin with a Fox Celebrity Profile with Keanu Reeves and Aziz Ansari of the new comedy Good Fortune, about a guardian angel named Gabriel meddling in the lives of a struggling gig worker and a wealthy venture capitalist. The film is written and directed by Ansari. In it, Gabriel is also on a journey discovering the little things in life.
The chicken nuggies, the tacos, the dancing, which Gabriel discovers. So what would you add to that list?
Candy floss. So I think seeing Gabriel at
he would love
fair, amusement park.
Sweets. He seems like he would like sweet stuff.
Then a little petting zoo, say hi to the goats. Bye.
See, no.
You know?
Which of your famous friends, a co-star, or even a past character would you want as your guardian angel?
I mean, I'm going to go with Lawrence Fishburne. He's been a guardian angel for me for many years.
I'm going to go with one of my Parks and Recs castmates, maybe Amy Poehler or Aubrey Plaza.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Fox on Football. I'm Jared Max. Football Americano in Madrid. The seventh and last NFL game of this season's international series kicks off Sunday morning, 9:30 Eastern Time in Madrid between the Dolphins and Commanders. It'll be the first NFL regular season game ever played in Spain. The final game Sunday, possible preview of the NFC Championship. NFC East leading 7-2 Eagles host the 6-3 Lions, who were tied for first place with the Bears in the NFC North. Chicago visits Minnesota, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt will call it. Fox also has the Giants-Packers game in the early window Sunday. Jameis Winston starts at quarterback for the Giants. First place on the line in the NFC West. 7-2 Rams host the 7-2 Seahawks. 4 p.m. Eastern Sunday on Fox. Co-favorites with the Eagles to win Super Bowl 60. Despite just a 5-4 record, the Chiefs visit the 8-2 Broncos, who've won 7 games in a row. Jared Max, Fox News.
The the stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Today is Friday, November 14th. 2 Atlanta-based companies made the top 10 on Forbes' Most Trusted Companies list. Chick-fil-A and Delta Airlines both scored high marks for trust among employees, customers, and investors. The list ranked companies with over 1,000 employees based on financial performance, customer and employee ratings, media reputation, and employee longevity. Microsoft announced the launch of its Fairwater 2 data center in Atlanta. The company calls it the world's first AI super factory. The site is directly connected to another dedicated Microsoft data center in Wisconsin focused solely on AI. Some residents have expressed concern over the rise of data centers in Georgia. Microsoft is pointing to sustainable efficiencies in its design. And the university system in Georgia has set an all-time enrollment record again. Over 382,000 students are enrolled in 26 public colleges or universities this fall in Georgia, almost 5% higher than fall of last year. This is the third year in a row enrollment has record-breaking growth. Today's weather sunny with highs in the mid-70s, and we've got a beautiful weekend on the way. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
I just saw this a minute ago. You can tell me if you believe it or not, but I went to her account, and I don't see it anymore. They said AOC has taken her pronouns off of her X page. I'm looking, Congressman, New York 14, in a modern, moral, and wealthy society, no American should be too poor to live. People funded, takes no lobby dollars, but there are no. I don't see any pronouns. There's a change going on with AOC.
No, if I was to say, Tug, that, well, I'm not sure you're a very righteous man, and then you showed up at my house and you took your hat off and you had devil horns, you think it might be a little bit of a giveaway?
Oh, it'd be a dead giveaway. Yeah, for sure.
All right, the pronouns work the same way these days.
But she's taking them down to disguise it.
The pronouns, and I'm glad when people still do it because
it's a dead giveaway.
It's
the
a
horn,
dead giveaway.
It's the tail.
Yes, it's a dead giveaway of this person ain't right in the head.
Yeah, these people are crazy.
Like, this person actually is having to identify something beyond what I can see. They're acknowledging that they have a belief that there is a multitude of sexes outside of the two.
Of genders, yes. The reason that stood out to me because I heard AOC yesterday and I was like, is this her or an imposter? Sounds like she's been told, hey, you better act right. Listen to this.
I think it's important that we understand that this is not just about Senator Schumer, but that this is about the Democratic Party. Senator Schumer, there's no one vote that ended this shutdown. We are talking about a coordinated effort of 8 senators with the knowledge of Leader Schumer voting to break with the entire Democratic Party in exchange for nothing.
I don't know why all of a sudden she sounds less haywire, less communist. But right there, she was like, well, it's not all Chuck's fault. You know, he voted no. It wasn't just one vote. AOC has been on his tail. AOC's been on every establishment Democrat's tail. And all of a sudden, pronouns are gone. If that's the case, I must say, I never saw her page before. Never noticed that. I'm just going by what people are reporting. You have that, if that's the case. And then this, we actually heard her say, how desperate are you to moderate the party and not look like crazy left? And how do you get her to go along? That's the question.
This is what's different about Donald Trump. I know I'm taking an AOC thing and I'm making it about Donald Trump.
No,
when you are not part of politics, then you don't have to play the game. It's just, you got a guy who's never held office, wanted to be president, ends up being president.
And really good at it.
But when you are part of politics and you're looking for higher office, you got to play the game. And the game for her, especially early on, was I can't be as all over the place. I can't be the one who's embarrassing the party. I can't be the one that is seemingly a loose cannon. I was like, I got to show that I can have some establishment tactics. And I believe that's exactly what she's starting to show you now. Like, I'm trying to play the game here.
And to that point, then that also would probably apply to a Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Playing the game. I'm seeking higher office. I can't be the loose cannon.
Because the money doesn't come into the loose cannons.
No.
You want some stability.
You want to be able to forecast how they're going to vote, what they're going to do.
But we know, or I feel like I know, there's nothing on the inside that's changed. It's all still radical. It's all still crazy. I'm going to contain it. I'm going to put it through this filter before I say it, even though I'm thinking it.
But we brought up the name Jamal Bowman. Tug's the one who pulled it out of nowhere. I was like, he pulled the fire alarm. You're like, Jamal Bowman.
It was an accident. I don't know how I did it. It's just there.
So Jamal Bowman was going off. He was doing, I'm a radical. And what happened? The Democrats say, you can go be a radical at home. We're going to get rid of you. And that's exactly what they did. You had the same threat years ago to AOC. This is, I think people kind of forget, this is not like she's been here 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And during those first 2 years, it was, do you want to keep acting like this? Because if you keep acting like this, you're not going to be here. And she played the game. Yeah. So this is just the next step. She's playing that game. Getting rid of the pronouns, just as you pointed out. Hey, when I'm talking about Chuck Schumer, I'm going to be measured. Meanwhile, she's got the knife behind her back.
Oh, no doubt. Because that's the thing. She wants to take out Chuck Schumer. And she wants that position. And the Democrats want her to have it. Most of them. I bet there's very few that are on Chuck's side, or at least out loud.
There's going to be a real battle if that's the case. Because you're then giving AOC, she's not going to get the purse strings, because I don't believe she'll be voted into leadership in the Senate. But if she was to get the seat, all right, that's a pretty important seat in the state of New York.
It is. One of two.
Things get a little haywire at that point about the direction of that party.
I think we all know where the direction of the party's going, and I think
Chuck Schumer and the like are trying to keep it from happening.
Absolutely, but I don't know that they can, because I don't think they can because of what they believe.
What is it that Mama says? You made your bed?
Yeah, go lay in it. They want to lay in the bed, Mama. But they want to lay in that bed.
No, there's a good portion of it. There's the other part that are trying to plug the dam with their fingers.
Yeah, but you can't.
We made
toothpaste back in the tube.
We made them crazy over the last decade. Now we want you to stop being crazy.
Can't do it. Yeah, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's interesting to see.
That's also something that Mama said.
Yeah, that's right. Mama's good to you, man. Mama will cook you some breakfast. Be the best breakfast you ever had in your life. She'll give you the shirt off her back. Only thing she get upset with you about, if you don't treat the dog good, you got to feed the dog just like you feed anybody else in the house. That's the way Mama treats the dogs. I was going to ask y'all, do you like Greek food? Maybe Mediterranean Greek food? Do you like that?
I used to love, back when we would eat this stuff more regularly, a gyro, like on a Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's a little slice of heaven.
It is.
Now,
exactly right.
You can find an alternative to the lamb meat. Mm-hmm. And the gyro is still awesome.
Okay.
So I'm a fan of the Greek food.
Me too, and I love Mediterranean fruit puree.
Yeah, it's the only time I'll eat black olives.
Okay.
I don't like them on anything else, but when you're having a gyro or a Greek salad, it fits.
So interesting that y'all both pronounced the word right, gyro.
Mm-hmm.
The number one most mispronounced word in America, according to thehill.com, gyro.
Well, Dre and I are cultured.
Well, I know you are, but the rest of the country ain't. The rest of the country don't figure it out. I ate gyros in Greece, so I heard them say it.
Look at him, Dre.
Well, no.
You and I just have it at some cool gas station. He's done it in Greece.
I do. Just because we were talking about gyros, and it kind of leads us into this whole SNAP thing down in Louisiana, because it seems like, Los, that they may have it right where nobody else does.
I don't know why we apply this to grandma. I think we should apply this to everybody. In fact, if you're telling me that grandma is going to get some government assistance, maybe she should have a little bit more variety. Now, keep this in mind. I really like Publix brand peanut butter. I don't like any of the other peanut butters out there. They're too sugary to me. But like Publix brand peanut butter,
like they're organic or whatever.
It's just their plain peanut butter.
You got to stir it up, because
not the organic, because that you're right. Okay. You have to stir that stuff up,
and it gets soupy.
Yes, it does.
That's the only thing.
But they're just basic peanut butter is significantly less sugary than like Jif. And I've liked Jif.
I love
Peter Pan, all those. They're all good.
I do the Jif natural. I don't think it's organic, and I don't know even what natural means, but that's the one I always get.
So
love that one.
This is going to be a video, and it's a woman who's actually pulling stuff out of a box. Now, in the state of Louisiana, what they do is they send the elderly a box every month, and it's a variety of food that they're able to put in their pantry. Now, if you compare that to the $1,000 in soda and Fruit Loops, I'm like, I think Louisiana has it right. Take a listen.
Ever wonder what the state of Louisiana gives you in a commodities box? A commodity supplemental food program where you can get a box of food once a month if you are elderly. Let me show you everything that Mom got in her box this month. She got this block of cheese, which looks like Velveeta. We got some dry milk mix, a can of beef with juices. Ugh, I don't know about that. Some peanut butter. Sometimes I'll give her the healthier peanut butter with no sugar, which is awesome. She got several cans of peaches. We got some green beans, some yams, I guess in preparation for Thanksgiving coming up. Like I mentioned, she had several cans of peaches. We got some instant mashed potato flakes, so you can whip up some mashed potatoes easily. We got 1 can of chili with beans, more peaches, more green beans. We got some corn. More corn.
Sounds good.
1 can of pinto beans. She also got a bag of dry red beans, which is awesome. She got this 1 jug of apple cherry juice. My niece said it was nasty, but Mama likes it. We also got some grits, a box of Tastios, essentially like Cheerios. She got a bag of rice so she can whip up some red beans and rice, especially if she had a Linka sausage or something. She got a box of elbow macaroni noodles, 1 little jug of milk. She said a lot of times they'll put 2 of them in there. If you have a low-income elderly family member in the state of Louisiana, be sure to tell them about this program.
So again, it's a supplemental box to go along with what they've got. That seems like a pretty good model.
Dude, there was no, Sugar Smacks. There was no, Fruit Loops, as you always point out.
And this was just for one person.
Yeah, right.
But there was...
But everything, I buy everything that she mentioned.
Everything. I was like, I eat that.
Yeah,
I eat that.
Me too.
I eat that. Every single portion of it. Now, you'll notice there wasn't any cold cuts. There wasn't any steak, but here's what you got.
Cold cuts ain't good for you, no way.
No, this is what it's going to be. And so for all the discussion about SNAP benefits, and now it looks like there's going to be an implementation for you got to have a work requirement for them. First off, bravo.
It needs to be.
But if
people that are against that, I will never understand unless it's political, and that's usually what it is.
But if the program was to be overhauled, where it's here's your assignment of what you're getting, and that happens to take it out of your hands that you can just go shop for whatever you want. Now, granted, I will allow, when I am dictator, that you can fill out a card or an online form to point out that if you have certain food allergies, then we will adjust your box accordingly. You will get to pick between
cashew butter instead of peanut butter.
Box D. You get box D because of some of the issues that go on in your home. But I think we should get to the point where if we're supplying this amount of money to people, we should have a say in what they're eating and what they get. And so it's not just a free-for-all.
I think you're exactly right. And I have no problem with the
state of Louisiana does it as a supplemental program.
For
the elderly.
Issue with the requirement for people that are not elderly of working or volunteering. I have no issue with that. I think it should be mandatory. I think it should be encouraged. I think accepting the lowest of the low, because that's what it is. Let's be honest. It's the lowest standing in the United States. That you shouldn't want to be there for the rest of your life or 30 years.
And as a generous dictator.
Oh, here we go. Los, the generous dictator.
I will ensure that your box has, and we won't even do 2,000 because, that could be a little bit iffy, 2,500 calories per day per person. More than enough to live on. You can even get fat on 2,500. It's going to be a little more difficult than the, 6,000.
When you're eating Fruit Loops every day and drinking Coca-Colas, Snicker bars and things.
Just a suggestion. As a benevolent dictator, that's what I would look to do. Friendly dictator Los.
Friendly neighborhood dictator. Tug and Los until 10. Your friendly neighborhood dictator and Tug.
That's right.
He's going to set things straight, turn off the vacancy light. Talked about that earlier.
Taking care of everything for you.
Just getting it right, that's all. I mean, that's what you want out of a dictator, right? To get it right.
Not telling you I'm stringing people up. I'm just saying I'm going to set things right.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for.
When I take power, this is what will occur. I promise.
Let's talk about setting it straight on the roads.
From day one? Dictator on day one?
Oh.
Yes. Oh.
Poor Aunt Peg.
Is there such a thing as pre-dictating?
Yes, that's right.
More of a post-dictator.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to wait 5 days and then I'll be a dictator.
Tell you what I would have done.
The attention California gets is usually not good, but this time it's good for the safety of everyday Americans like maybe you driving to work this morning. Next on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, November 14th. The college football weekend features both locals in action. Let's start with 16th ranked Georgia Tech. They're on the road taking on a 1-9 Boston College football team. That's going to be a 3:30 kickoff tomorrow. You can hear that game on our sister station and their app, 680 The Fan. As for 5th ranked Georgia, they have a top 10 matchup Saturday night in Athens. They host the Texas Longhorns. That kickoff is set for 7:30. The Atlanta Hawks, they've won 4 straight after closing out a back-to-back with a win against the Utah Jazz, 132-122. As for Jalen Johnson, he posts a triple-double, 31 points, 18 rebounds, and 14 assists. The Hawks close out the West Coast road trip Sunday in Phoenix. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Looking for the perfect car, truck, or SUV? Jim Ellis Buick GMC has you covered. With a huge selection of new and used vehicles, finding the right fit is easy.
Whether it's a Buick Enclave or Envision, a GMC Acadia or Yukon, or the power of the Sierra and Canyon trucks, and the best part, you're never alone in the process.
Their expert sales team helps match you with the right vehicle, while their finance specialists make buying simple and stress-free.
With decades of experience, Jim Ellis Buick GMC understands the importance of offering an expansive inventory that fits every driving performance, style, and budget need. Plus, every new Buick and GMC comes with cutting-edge technology, premium comfort, and advanced safety features so you can drive with confidence.
Already a Buick or GMC owner? Well, keep it running like new with their state-of-the-art service center staffed by factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. Start your search at JimEllisBuickGMC.com or shop in person in Chamblee off Peachtree Boulevard, inside the Perimeter, or in Beaufort off Highway 20 near 985. Jim Ellis, Buick GMC, we are professional grade.
Thousands of veterans across Georgia are missing out on the benefits they've earned through their service. The Warrior Alliance is changing that by connecting veterans and their families to life-changing resources and support. Tune into the Warrior Alliance Network, our podcast and radio show dedicated to helping veterans succeed after service. Join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Talk Radio 106.3 to hear inspiring veteran stories, discover free programs, and learn about career opportunities available to you. Subscribe to the Warrior Alliance YouTube channel today.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
So, the doc says I have ED. ED. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just an abbreviation for a condition so many men have. If I was to be honest, I probably also have a little OCD. I know I have a great HMO. Heck, I even have 3 weeks of PTO. Look, don't let a few letters get you down. If you have ED, there's HELP. Go see Dr. Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He's an ED specialist that will turn your life around PDQ. ED happens to a lot of men as we age. And just FYI, Dr. Deal can give you back the confidence you need to perform on the JOB. So, ready to take the first step? Quit yelling WTF at your little BFF and visit tbtofga.com. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can fix your ED ASAP. And before you know it, you'll be screaming OMG.
I'm getting in the game. The world won't be the same. I'm good to go.
Call 404-777-1911 or visit tbtofga.com.
Children are a gift from God, and every day, thousands of women across the nation are facing unplanned pregnancies with nowhere to turn. Right now, nearly 1 in 4 pregnancies end in abortion, and that's over 3,000 lives lost every single day. But through the Preborn Network clinics, there is hope. These clinics provide free ultrasounds that introduce a mother to her baby, and that is the moment that changes everything. Over 350,000 babies have already been saved through this life-giving work. But it doesn't stop there. Mothers are being introduced to Christ, they're receiving practical support, and they're choosing life. Moms like Valeria, who thought she didn't deserve to have a child until her search led her to a Preborn Network clinic. Now she has a beautiful daughter who is already spreading life to others. This is happening every day. Just $28 a month can save a life restoring a precious gift from God. Dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Beck. That's preborn.com/Beck. Let's rescue a generation, one heartbeat at a time. Sponsored by Preborn.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Is there a small part of your brain not occupied with pro football or Sydney Sweeney that might be slightly curious as to why so many young people found themselves on the Zohan Mondami socialist communist bandwagon in New York?
Atlanta Talk radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. I just wanted to, something Neil said there, and you know we love Neil. Neil's great, joins us every Tuesday morning, 7:25. He said, if your brain's not filled up with football and Sydney Sweeney, you know, maybe that's why some of those people, the young people, were too preoccupied to know what Mom Donnie's about. Could you not keep up with a little football? Occasionally, when Sydney Sweeney's picture roll by, I'd be like, wow, she's a really pretty girl. And then also realize that he's a communist and he shouldn't vote. I feel like those things are compatible, all those.
I would like to think that I have a detailed knowledge of all three.
Yeah, right. I mean,
not personal knowledge of Sydney Sweeney.
No, right. Yes, I know what you mean.
But here's my phone number.
How are you, girl?
But yeah, I think you make time for what's important to you.
I think so too, and it can be all those things. I love football.
I do enjoy though, and this is kind of the Buck Sexton thing.
Oh.
That man has no space in his mind for sports.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny.
Yeah, he's not into sports at all. I mean, I know some people like that a little bit. You know, it's dudes and they just never got into sports. I don't understand it. I don't know how that happens. I loved playing ball from the time I was born.
I normally run from that when I find out when my wife's like, oh, hey, we're going to go hang out with these neighbors.
Yeah.
And when the first question comes up from like the husband, like she's gotten to be like she kind of knows somebody, they're kind of getting friendly.
Yeah.
Then the husband's like, so
what's you into, man? What's you like to do?
Who are the Braves going to sign this year? I'm like, oh no.
And they do the arm thing.
Like, here we go.
That's right.
Here we go.
Yeah. Just because they know you've worked sports for so long, that's the one they lead with.
I hear they're good this year. Oh no. That's the moment.
What was the issue that made them not perform as well as they have been in the last few seasons?
I was like, did your wife give you a list of things to ask me about?
That's exactly right. And do you have to ask them in this weird, tempo? Because it always comes down like that.
Kind of how it goes.
I love that. I don't know. And I know Neil does that for effect. Because Neil likes college football. He's a Texas A&M fan. He's an Aggie.
He just doesn't know what he's looking at, I guess.
I guess.
He just stares at the football and he's like, hey, did they score or not?
Yeah. But
do you think he watches sports like Buck Sexton watches sports? Just needs a little bit of help?
I think Neil probably watches. I think Neil probably understands it a little better than Buck. That's just my guess. I don't know that. I could be wrong. Could be way wrong. But I feel like Neil probably likes watching football. He just doesn't. It's not. Probably not number one.
What
thing.
Is it not on brand?
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, it kind of feels like that.
Make sure that nobody knows that I'm watching any of this sports.
That's right. Does it come off to you a little bit? Because that's the way I interpret it.
I kind of feel that way, but I don't know. I mean, again, everybody's their own person. They do their own thing.
Absolutely. Neil's great about all kinds of things.
Proclivities. I mean, I have no room to talk. I'm open about this. I watch weird documentaries.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, for instance, I finished off my Gary Ridgway one from yesterday.
I watched the Dolly Parton documentary last night.
Okay, see?
It was on Access TV. AXS. Because they do just music documentary after. They'll do live concert, music documentary. Live concert, music documentary. It's just one right after another. They're lined up.
Because when I read The Green River Killer, at no point in the book does it get into Gary Ridgway getting married. And so the documentary was about how he got married. And at one point in 1985, they're like, why have the killing stopped? It was only because he got married for a while.
Exactly. He had these things that were preoccupying him.
And then he cranked it back up again.
He was like, look, this laying down with my wife thing has been good.
I got
to get back.
I mean, part of the documentary was the home that his wife moved into that he owned. He'd killed like 20 women in that room.
Good Lord.
It's like, and now we share the bedroom.
Now you know why I watched Dolly Parton documentaries.
Right.
It was all smiles and
That's
butterflies.
what you watch. And this is what I was doing before I watched the Hawks game.
Yeah.
So the fact that Neil doesn't know, who the quarterback is for Texas A&M is okay.
Yeah, no, it's just fine. No doubt. There's room for all of it. Yeah, sometimes the deep, dark stuff, I can't. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't sit good with me. I just...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I spoke out loud.
You're not interested in a Dolly?
I think Dolly Parton would be a great documentary.
I bet I've seen a dozen Dolly documentaries. I mean, down to the point, because this was made by a British company, and it wasn't all that good, to be honest. And everything they laid out, they were like, Dolly Parton grew up, and I was like, right outside of Sevierville. I think it's called Locust Grove or something like that. And so I was answering all the things that they had
before
said
they even got into
it. Yeah, so it was very pedestrian, this documentary.
Maybe it wasn't for you. It was like Jeopardy on a very low level, like second grader Jeopardy, and you're like
Jeopardy for kids, yes.
The equator,
or with you with serial killers, you'd give all the rundown.
Oh, I know that one. Hold on a second.
Serial killers for 800, please, Alex, or Ken, I guess it is now. Out in California, they usually get a lot of attention, and lately it's not been really, really good attention. Everything they touch burns down. Everything they touch is bad. And right now, the crazy thing that's happening there is they've been issuing licenses to people who can't speak English, can't read road signs, and they're causing accidents in the country.
Deadly accidents.
This is terrible, terrible. And now California's like, I think they're onto us.
Well, let's give credit where it's due. It belongs to you, Tug. It belongs to everyone else out there who started pressuring this story and then looking at the Trump administration and saying, do something. And the Trump administration did something.
They're good about that.
17,000 drivers.
That's not an insignificant number.
Can you imagine how many they were handing out over 4 years? Of just like you came across the border and it's like compliments of Joe Biden. Here you go. Here's a CDL.
And that's just California.
17,000 drivers are now no longer legal.
Thank goodness.
And so, one, get them off the road. Two, get them out of the country. Because we have had our American-born truck drivers who have pointed out with what is going on, it has made it you cannot operate a truck any longer.
Yeah, it's pushed down wages.
It pushed down the wages.
Or whatever your freight cost is.
Yes, your freight costs and your wages, what you were seeing 10 years ago, 5 years ago, was not available to you. I guarantee you pull off 17,000 drivers off the road that are not supposed to be here and are not supposed to be on the road, watch the wages go back up.
Gavin Newsom said all the things that we're laying out is not the reason that they're...
Sure. Of course not.
So Gavin, what would be the reason? If that's not it,
because California's been so compliant with everything with the Trump administration
and Sean Duffy and everybody, but I'm curious. Like, what is it then, Gavin? What's the reason if that's not it? Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Happy Friday to you. 6 o'clock hour brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. When we come back, how the Trump administration plans to help younger voters, the ones we need in the midterms, next on Extra.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. Just when you thought the country couldn't get any crazier, the Democrats surprise you. Shutting the government down for lame political reasons, liberals complaining of taking criminals and illegals off the street. When will this craziness stop? Well, in this crazy world, there is one place to go for peace of mind. Drop by Atlanta Safe House and let the safe experts help you select the safe to best protect your hard-earned valuables. Our brands include Browning, Fort Knox, Champion, and many more. So go by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Okay, who just opened your Obamacare or Marketplace renewal and almost fell off that chair? Hey, 30, 35%, and it's not even any better? You're not crazy. They keep jacking the premium and giving you less. I don't know about this stuff, but I know who does. I go to Steven, the health insurance doctor. I send people there because he's been doing this 16 years. He wins awards for this stuff. He helps the self-employed, 1099, small business owners, the people actually paying for their own insurance. You bet you're going to get corporate-style coverage, nationwide PPO. How about lower zero deductibles, plans that pay you cash benefits when you use them? And he does it all around the year round there because, you know what, he's independent. He's got multiple carriers to quote. A lot of you are going to see that premium go right down instead of up. And in some cases, saving to 60% over that renewal number. He works for you, not Washington. Here's a number, 678-523-0759. 678-523-0759. Or go to healthinsurancedoctor.net. It's Steven, not a call center. Your plan, your savings, and tell him the Kibber sent you.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3.
Why no identification? Because the people that Democrats are going to rely on to get political power are not people who are going to readily have personal identification on them, especially if they happen to be in the country illegally.
Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3. The Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3.
It's not normal, but it's better. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Air travel still reduced, even though the government's back open, with another 600 flights canceled today. But Fox's Garrett Tenney reports from Chicago's O'Hare airports.
For the first time in weeks, the U.S. had no flight delays due to air traffic controller shortages. Thanks to the number of returning controllers, the Transportation Department is pausing its plans to ramp up mandatory flight reductions and will begin to gradually decrease cuts from the current 6% level as staffing improves.
Controllers are getting their pay now, and President Trump wants those who kept working during the shutdown to get $10,000 bonuses. TSA security workers who also stayed on the job will get the same. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says
they went above and beyond. They helped individuals. They served extra shifts.
With the shutdown over, the Trump administration's focusing on affordability, planning some tariff exemptions on food and other imports, trying to reduce prices. Vice President Vance tells Fox they want to
make sure that more people can afford a good life. They can afford to buy homes. Young people can afford to start families. And we've actually got good jobs that put people on a career trajectory to stability.
Well, stocks could drop again. Futures falling after the worst day for the market in a month. The Dow plunged nearly 800 points on concern about the shutdown and not just slowing the economy, but also preventing data collection on inflation and unemployment, creating uncertainty over future interest rate cuts. Zoran Mamdani has company as a newly elected socialist mayor. He won in New York City. Katie Wilson declared the winner of a very close race in Seattle.
I want universal child care and free K-8 summer care.
I want world-class mass transit.
Wilson beat incumbent Mayor Bruce Harrell by about 2,000 votes. Israel has handed over the bodies of 15 Palestinians, which it does every time Hamas returns the remains of a dead hostage killed in the October 7th, 2023 terror attack that triggered the deadly destructive war in Gaza. Hamas still has to hand over 3 more bodies as part of the ceasefire agreement that ended the war. America's listening to Fox.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
What do you say to anyone who still doesn't understand America First? Tell the left now at 404-741-1230 on the Morning Extra.
Come on! Why don't we start the song right now? Dude, smiles all around. Cheshire Cat smiles.
Just me and Bret Michaels.
That's
and
right.
Big hair.
Can you imagine
having a good time?
Being in one of those bands in the 80s. How incredible that must have been. I mean, I know this is, look, as a Christian man, I know the way they were living was not the way you're supposed to live.
But
I bet it was fun.
I bet they had a great time.
I mean, they had ladies and they had liquor and they had a lot of fun. I don't know that we're ever going back to that. I think times are different.
I mean, right now, Tug is on the front of the Titanic and his arms are out.
Buddy, just after the
flying.
I'm flying. And, Tommy Lee they had him in they had that box that he was doing the drums in.
They had that spear that would go all around during that time period.
Freaking crazy, dude. Even the ugliest dude in the band was loaded. Ladies loved him, and it was all you could drink. I mean, bottomless.
You think about that. So there's Poison, there's Motley Crue,
Def Leppard,
Bon Jovi's obviously doing their thing, a little bit different, but still, they're
Van Halen.
Van Halen's doing their thing.
Yeah, all those. There's so many of them.
Everybody has long hair and gets on that guitar pretty hard.
Yeah, gets on the drum kit. Even the bass player, man. Even the bass player. Nikki Sixx was a bass player. You know? He's not. I'm not a guy that is able to play instruments, so I envy anybody that can. I don't know that the bass is the most difficult instrument on the stage. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Somebody willing to call and tell me I'm crazy?
I hope there's a bassist out there that is so mad at you right now.
Ready to scream.
One sitting at this control room board right now.
Exactly.
That's right.
He's ready.
There's somebody who's
ready to throw that refrigerator you brought in at me.
There's somebody who's ready to go play for the Dirty Doors in Coming tonight. And he's a bassist, and he's like,
son of a... Can you believe that guy?
Can't believe he talked about that.
Yeah.
Bassists have a good time. We just don't have to be loud about it.
Right.
I did all right.
Is it the most difficult instrument on the stage?
No.
That's all I said. Truth. A bass player just
so
speaking.
You wrong.
Real easy to pick it up and learn the basics. Then some of the advanced techniques are a little bit more
No,
difficult.
I'm not saying that you're wrong in terms of the ease of the...
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just saying you're wrong for that.
Oh, wrong for saying it, for pointing it out. That's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Look, we got to get that right. Bass players are awesome. I mean, Nikki Sixx was awesome. I can't think of another bass player, though.
He wrote a lot of the lyrics, I think, in that particular band.
Yeah, he for sure. Yeah. Is there another... Who played bass in Poison? Was that Bobby Dahl?
That was Bobby Dahl.
Yeah. Yeah, because Ricky Rocket was behind the kit.
Ricky Rocket was on the kit. CeCe DeVille was on the guitar, and Bobby Dahl was on the bass.
There we go. So I can name two bassists. I'm trying to think if I would know another bassist. Nothing really comes. I mean, everybody knows that Eddie Van Halen, C.C. DeVille, everybody, Mick Mars, everybody knows the lead guitar, but I'm just not sure everybody knows who the bassist is.
Just an incredible reduction of an artist.
Now, I'm not trying to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just merely pointing out that sometimes they get overlooked.
Would you like to take it up a notch? Would you like to tell us all that Hitler had good ideas to start? I mean, what
elite dude.
You think that Pol Pot had some decent ideas?
I'm going for bass players to Hitler and Pol Pot.
I'm just saying.
Goodness.
I mean,
you got springs in your shoes for that jump.
That's right. As long as you're pushing in this direction,
might as well
just keep it going.
Just lay it all out on the line.
One line after another. Where I'm like, let's see how inflammatory one tug can be.
I love it. See, you didn't know that's the devil on the shoulder.
Apparently, he woke up this morning. He's like, I'm Tugger Carlson. Look what I'm going to do.
I'm going to throw gas on the fire, which I tell you, Tucker got some. He got my attention last night.
Got some attention. We'll see where this goes. He's going to get into Butler, Pennsylvania.
We've all thought the professional scrubbing, the cleaning the scene before they could even investigate it.
It's an appointment for today when it releases to find out what his investigative team has found out in terms of the online presence of the shooter in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Did he give a time? Because that's the one thing I've not seen, like the time he's going to drop it.
Just saw the post of we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, same here. All right.
So that's going to be one of those things today where I'm just kind of looking over at my timeline going, when did you put it out here?
I can't wait.
I want to know what you got. I want to see the cards.
Yeah, me too. And I give Tucker a lot of credit. I think he's a smart guy. I think he's got a good team around him. It's very rare that I hear Tucker and go, hey, man, what are you talking about? You sound crazy over there. I'm not saying it's never happened, but most of the time I feel like Tucker is pretty dialed in. So I do look forward to hearing whatever it is that he has planned for today and the cards, if you will, the evidence that he will lay out. Because we've all felt like that there is something fishy, something sinister, more sinister that was not shared with the American people, not shared with you and I. And Tucker apparently feels that way too.
I would put it this way. I know more about Jaray's foot than I know about the online presence or what the Butler, Pennsylvania shooter was involved in. And that's just because Jaray banged his foot up pretty good. Looked like he broke it, and I saw it.
Yeah.
Got some colors like the Northern Lights right now.
That's what it looks like, yes. Black and blue.
Pink and purple.
Yeah.
Black and blue.
And Lowe's can relate because he just did that like 2 weeks ago.
I know more about Jaray's foot than I know about the online presence and what the shooter in Butler, Pennsylvania was involved in because it was professionally scrubbed by the FBI.
It doesn't feel right. A lot of it doesn't feel right. Imagine that, the FBI doing it again. This is one that Los has said many times, and I'm not opposed to it at all. Should be scattered to the wind. I'm not saying we don't need a presence like the FBI. I just feel like the one that we have is so corrupt and so dirty. I don't know that anybody can fix it. I'm not saying that everybody that works in the FBI is bad. I'm just saying there is a root cancer, it feels like, in the FBI that needs to be exposed. It needs to be blown up and re-put together. I don't know. I just don't feel good about it. And I have a friend who worked in the FBI. Our kids played ball together. He never really talked about work, for obvious reasons. And so I know they're good people, those that work in the FBI. But there just seems to be, I'll say it again, a root cause of my disbelief.
Let's
distrust.
see what was going on under Christopher Wray,
which we know is filthy dirty.
And then we'll go from here, right? We'll see what happened with James Comey and Christopher Wray, and then we'll go from there.
But I want to believe that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are doing good work, and I think they are, probably. I just don't know that the layers underneath them are on the up and up. Salvageable. Yes, that's a great word. Thank you. That's a great word.
For as much as we've heard about upper management being reassigned or fired entirely, all right, let's see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Start. Yeah. If Tucker Carlson actually has some good data, good information,
which I expect he will,
take it back to the administration, take it back through the media, and ask them about it and see what they disclose.
There obviously is a relationship there, but he used to be at all the Trump events, Trump golf courses.
Sure.
So there's a relationship there. And no one has more interest in knowing about the information that Tucker has than Donald Trump.
You would think so. How has this not been a bigger story where you know everything about the shooter?
I'm going to give Donald Trump a little praise and say, because he's got other things that are more pressing
than being shot.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Salvaging the United States of America.
I guess big picture. But if we're going to talk about, at least from the media perspective, they're like, he's waging war on all these people that went after him. I think I'd also include that when it comes to the people that covered up, or at least did not disclose that much information for what got you shot.
That's why I think his focus is in the right place. His focus has been on getting the economy in a good place, because we had this week the stock market hit its high, and then yesterday it tumbled, and it makes you worry about the economy a little bit. And I understand why. And look, Trump's talked about the economy. Is it in a pretty good place? Yes. But is it brittle underneath? I would think so. Scott Bessent's used that word specifically. So his focus is there. His focus is on affordability. His focus is now on health care. I think younger voters is a big, big focus for him, and it needs to be.
And that's where J.D. Vance, I believe, is stepping in. And he did an interview yesterday. J.D. Vance, I believe, is going to be the person that's going to step into the role that we saw that was so important for Charlie Kirk. Talk to young people, be that lead, acknowledge what is going wrong. I mean, I think that's first and foremost. Acknowledge that the American dream, as you have had it sold to you, is not available to you. And to flat out say why. But then also provide the pathway forward of explain what you're doing to fix that. This is what J.D. Vance was explaining yesterday.
I know that there are a lot of people out there, Sean, who are saying things are expensive. And we have to remember they're expensive because we inherited this terrible inflation crisis from the Biden administration. But you've already seen signs that things are getting better. The price of eggs has gone way down. The price of energy has gone way down. The price of gasoline has gone way down. And as we know, when the price of energy goes down, that starts to filter out into the entire economy. But that also takes a little bit of time. There's another component of this, Sean, which to me is maybe the most important, because I care so much about our young people being able to afford a good life. A lot of young people are saying housing is way too expensive. Why is that? Because we flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants who were taking houses that ought by right go to American citizens. And at the same time, we weren't building enough new houses to begin with, even for the population that we had. So what we're doing is trying to make it easier to build houses, trying to make it easier to build factories and things like that so that people have good jobs. We're also getting all of those illegal aliens out of our country, and you're already seeing it start to pay some dividends.
All right. We have talked about this before.
Supply and demand.
If you get rid of 20 or 30 million people that aren't supposed to be here, what do you think happens to your rents?
You alleviate the pressure in that market. You alleviate the demand that is driving up prices, and all of a sudden, things become more affordable.
Because
same way with energy, because he addressed energy.
Sure.
We've now made it readily available, and it's gone, the prices have gone way down.
If I own a rental property and it doesn't ever stay vacant, what is there that's driving me to say, hey, let me cut the cost by 20%. Let me cut the rental price by 20%.
There's no reason to.
There's no reason to.
No, I just need that mailbox money.
Mailbox money just keeps showing up. Well, what happens when the people that have been traditionally renting suddenly aren't here because they're not supposed to be?
All of a sudden, you might have to drop the price a little bit because
it's not
the mailbox money dries up.
It's really not complicated.
Supply and demand is very easy to understand.
It's a very simple concept.
I'm not good at math. I'm a 3-time college dropout. Supply and demand makes sense to me.
Very simple.
Hitting it, though.
It's not difficult.
Hitting it, though.
But that's, at least here is, and now the administration did announce yesterday, they've hit 2 million total that have been sent out of this country.
If the number that J.D. Vance used of 30 is right, which I wonder if he's not including people who were here even before.
Oh, I believe that includes people that are here.
Me too. But that doesn't mean that they don't need to go.
Well, they're under the same pressures. Hey, you overstayed your visa. Well, how long? 10 years. Well, it's time to go home.
Yeah, you got to figure this out.
Right?
You got to get this figured out.
No, but they're a part of the community. You overstayed your visa. There's a legal way to do this. You didn't. You got to go.
Guess where they wouldn't allow that? Mexico, Japan. I mean, the list is pretty long of countries that if you overstay your visa or you go in and just decide to take up shop, they will send you home and they won't feel bad about it.
Brazil won't let you off the plane unless you have a work visa for their country.
Freaking Brazil.
Brazil will not let you walk through the airport unless you have a valid work visa that clearly says how long you're there for and when are you leaving.
You're telling me in Brazil, law and order is more important than in the United States of America? Huh. I would have never thought. In a million years.
It's weird that their border enforcement seems to be a little bit stronger.
But it's almost like, with the exception of Europe and the United States, seems like it's that way everywhere. It's only in these, Western democracies, if you will, that the border is used as something to penalize you. It's something that if you bring it up, you're the problem.
So that, I think, is going to be part of the challenge for somebody like J.D. Vance as he gets into this stuff. Because you are in this weird balancing act with young people. I think if you explain to young people what's driving their costs, some of them will come around to say, well, get them out of here. But some of them are going to be they're the young version of Aunt Peg. Well, they need to be here. No, they don't.
Especially young women. I mean, let's face it.
The university system is breeding them.
Yes, they are. Young white women are as liberal. And in our friend group, it's crazy, in our friend group. And I love these young ladies. I've watched them grow up in our friend group, and now they're graduating college, and all of a sudden I'm like, what happened to this child?
See, this was the cool part when we had our own interns in here, and we're speaking to them at 19 and 21 years old, and it was very clear they didn't look at things in a liberal fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one was a young white woman.
And yet she's like, no, everything costs.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to pay for it. Like, somebody raised her right.
Because she was from Cumming, is that right? Or so,
Alpharetta.
Alpharetta, okay. I mean, I know how I work, I know how my friend group works, but not everybody works in that fashion. And there are plenty of people that feel completely opposite, and it's clear they're wrong, but it's clear that they're sharing, those values. And I would imagine that if you're in California, if you're in New York, if you're in, Minnesota, it's the exact opposite. It's 10-1 we have.
Well, you can send them to anywhere around the country. I mean, we had a story about a local university.
University of North Georgia.
Where when you got into what they were teaching, you're like, wait a minute, like it doesn't require California.
Yeah,
it requires the university system.
Of course,
it requires,
yeah. That's correct. And that book was saying that Christians were Christian nationalists and they were racist and bigoted. That's what that book said. That young lady shared out of the University of North Georgia. I guess my point is, though, there's more people in that support system at home that is going to agree with everything that happened at the university and reinforce it, where, like, when my son comes home, he asks me questions like, no. That's not the way it goes.
Let me clear this up for you.
Let's make this a little more easy to understand. And I love the fact that he calls me about those things. When we continue on Extra 106.3, the climate hoax is up, but no one told Nancy. Next on Extra.
President Trump is restoring freedom, bringing justice back to America, and restoring power to the people. And the conservative voice of Atlanta has his back and will always bring you the national and local voices you need when it matters most. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
Did you know that there are over 34,000 lawyers in the state of Georgia? Yet despite that huge number, Bruce Hagen was recently named by his peers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state. Do you know who is not among the top 100 lawyers in the state? Some clown standing on top of an 18-wheeler. Those kind of lawyers may make flashy ads, but they're just marketers, not real lawyers. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need Bruce Hagen, a real lawyer who tries cases and wins. Call Bruce Hagen. He's the real deal for your injury case. Hagen-law.com.
Oh, if only dogs could talk. I think a lot of them would say, thanks for the love, but the food's really not working for me, you know? And the truth is, they'd be right. Most dog food, wet or dry, is cooked at such high temperatures that every live nutrient is destroyed. And what's left is dead food, bulked up with fillers and sprayed, literally with artificial flavors. And that's not what your dog needs. But when you add back live vitamins, omega oils, enzymes, antioxidants with Rough Greens, your dog would have something very different to say. Wow, this is delicious. Hey, let's go for a walk. I feel like a puppy again. Have you noticed I'm talking and that's not natural? It's not magic, it's biology. Just don't imagine it seeing your own dog right now. You can get a free Jumpstart trial bag. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com/Beck. Use the promo code Beck. Roughgreens.com/Beck. Promo code Beck. If dogs could talk, it'd be a weird place to live. Roughgreens.com/Beck. Promo code Beck.
Fox on Tech. Your government-issued ID comes to your Apple device. Apple is finally unveiling digital ID inside Apple Wallet, competing with Google. It works not just on an iPhone, but also on an Apple Watch. Just go into the Wallet app and act as if you're adding a new card to the wallet. It will give you the option to add a state driver license or ID card. Not every state is participating with their ID cards just yet. Only 12 are, and Apple Wallet has options to add ID from those 12 states. But Apple will also add your U.S. passport to the wallet. Digital IDs are meant to make things more convenient for you when traveling by air domestically and proceeding through TSA checkpoints. They do not replace physical IDs. You must still have those on your person. A U.S. passport stored digitally on the Apple Wallet cannot be used for international flying, nor can it be used for crossing international borders. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
This is House Call for Health. Time to break out the bubbly, or not. Costco recalling about 1 million bottles of a sparkling white wine over concerns about potential bottle breakage issues. In a notice by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the recalled wine is Kirkland Signature Val d'Abiadene Prosecco. The agency says the bottles were sold in 12 states from April through August of this year, and they're green with purple foil and a purple label. The agency says F&F Wines International, the manufacturer of the wine, has received about 10 reports of bottles breaking or shattering, resulting in at least one laceration injury. The CPSC says consumers should immediately stop using the wine and should not open the bottles if they haven't been opened already. The commission also says the bottles should be placed in paper towels or a plastic bag before disposal. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Today is Friday, November 14th. 2 Atlanta-based companies made the top 10 on Forbes' most trusted companies list. Chick-fil-A and Delta Airlines both scored high marks for trust among employees, customers, and investors. The list ranked companies with over 1,000 employees based on financial performance, customer and employee ratings, media reputation, and employee longevity. Microsoft announced the launch of its Fairwater 2 data center in Atlanta. The company calls it the world's first AI super factory. The site is directly connected to another dedicated Microsoft data center in Wisconsin focused solely on AI. Some residents have expressed concern over the rise of data centers in Georgia. Microsoft is pointing to sustainable efficiencies in its design. And the university system in Georgia has set an all-time enrollment record again. Over 382,000 students are enrolled in 26 public colleges or universities this fall in Georgia, almost 5% higher than fall of last year. This is the third year in a row enrollment has record-breaking growth. Today's weather sunny with highs in the mid-70s, and we've got a beautiful weekend on the way. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
You should plug that.
Oh,
you shouldn't keep that quiet. That's a cool thing.
It is very cool, but I don't know much about it. You actually know more about it than I do. A friend of ours works down the hall at our sister station, The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. His daughter, it's Justin Hanover. His daughter, Evie, does a podcast.
A faith-based podcast.
That's right. And it's out of the Methodist Church right down the road from us here at the Battery, Atlanta. And they invited me to come over and be on the podcast, Los.
Her mom had passed it along to me, and I got a chance to check out the first episode. And I was like, all right, very cool. But you always are like, all right, so when's the next one? When's the next one? How are you going to build? Like a podcast just kind of builds and changes.
Yeah, sure. That's right.
So to now see that, they've invited Tug Cowart to be part of this.
It was so flattering.
Interesting. All right, very cool.
It was very flattering.
Because a lot of it's her journey.
Yeah, that's right.
But then also talking to other people about their journey.
Yeah, and that's what she was like. are there things that you want to cover? And so I sent her a few topics that I thought were important.
Tell her your cocaine addiction.
I left that part out.
Tell her I broke my cocaine addiction.
Exactly. Jesus help me.
Jesus help me.
Thank the
I
Lord.
love the booger sugar.
Yeah, that's right.
But
then I got right.
Then he fixed me.
Yeah, that's right. So, but
why don't you start making up stories for a podcast, right?
Dude, we should do that.
Like, it's not going to hurt your employment around here if you start telling wild stories about how you came to know Jesus and it was because of all of your afflictions.
Yeah. Well, but look how many people that actually would apply to.
I would womanize.
Dude, I bet there's, and I don't mean to take this political. I don't. Donald Trump was a changed man after he was shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, which we talked about a little earlier. Tucker Carlson's got something that he's going to reveal today. Do a whole show about all the things that we don't know there, and we've discussed it a million times. But I truly believe him being shot in that field in Butler, Pennsylvania, changed who he is. I don't know that I ever thought that Donald Trump was a super faithful man. I don't even know if I ever heard him talk about it. But after that, he did. And I want to point out something that when he was asked, do you remember when he was asked on Air Force One, are you going to make it to heaven?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like,
pointed out, no,
I'm not going to. I've never heard Donald Trump say I can't do something before, ever.
That was very revealing when he was like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
He's like, but I don't think so. I'm like, okay.
And I, there's obviously with my faith's most important thing in my whole life. There's so many things that I want to say to him. If I had the opportunity, and I'm sure that there's faith leaders that have talked to him about this a million times, but I thought it was very revealing when he said, I can't, because that's the one thing, Los, that I've never heard him say is I can't. There's never been something that's come across his desk at the Oval Office or in construction or in relationships or overseas. He's never once, I've never heard him, and if you can point out when he does, you correct me if I'm wrong, I've never heard him say I can't until that day on Air Force One when he said, I don't think I'm getting in. I can't get in.
I think you should bring that up when you do the podcast and then talk about your cocaine addiction.
Bring both up.
But just start throwing them out there like, I heard the president and I was surprised by this.
Yeah.
You open up to the discussion and then you turn it into, now here are my problems.
Yeah. And they're numerous.
And for that young woman, you just start laying them at her feet.
Goodness.
Like she's a therapist. Yeah. I mean, what would you do? What would you do?
I don't want to do that to her.
I'm trying to balance 5 women a week.
And
I can't handle my urges.
Yeah.
And I'm online every day. I'm on my phone at work. I mean, what would you do? How would you handle it?
Yeah. Would you take my phone away? Where would you begin?
Just see how it goes.
Just poor thing. God, it'd be terrible.
She's just looking to talk to you about a faith-based journey, and you're sitting back saying,
I need therapy.
And I had to get it even more hardcore.
That's right.
It wasn't working for me anymore. What would you do?
Her eyes would be as big as around as like freaking Donald Duck.
Just a suggestion on my part. So
I'm not taking your advice on this. Everything else you've ever told me, I've taken your advice.
Just a plug.
I just don't know about this one.
And then make sure that you tweet it out. Take care of.
Oh, I will definitely do all that. Of course, definitely do.
I'm just glad that she's rolling and getting this thing moving.
Me too. Yeah, and we spoke on the phone. She seems like the sweetest girl, and I'm glad that she's doing this. She's kind of following in her father's footsteps a little bit. And I don't know her dad real well. We just kind of know each other.
I've known him 20 years.
Okay, so that's also, so he's an awesome dude, I assume. Everything that I've, in our short
just a good dude, good sports guy.
Yeah.
Especially, at this point, Justin's very tied in with Georgia Tech athletics. Mm-hmm. And so if you're ever looking to check out when they have the coaches show, then you follow that up right there with pretty much Georgia Tech Radio Network. And he's very much embedded with this.
So should I change my hat before I go today? Is that going to upset her?
I don't know.
Maybe.
She's like, if she says she doesn't like it, just go, sinner.
That's right. God's a Georgia fan. Well, how do you know that? What is God spelled backwards? Ta-da! I've been telling you a long time.
Okay, I see what you're doing here. And then have her answer that one. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Ask your daddy about that. I kid. I don't have a deep hatred for Georgia Tech.
I hope you're like really aggressive, Tug, today.
Which I've never been in my whole life. I can't imagine it starting.
Just snapping at her.
Just popping off.
What you mean?
Yeah. What you think of that? Take that. Ha ha. Just hit her with all that.
You want me to host this thing now?
She's like, I'm never bringing you back on this show ever again. She's like, you know what? This interview's over. I'm done with all this. Lord. It won't happen. I'm going to be as respectful as I can and just try to have a good conversation. I expect that it'll go well. I mean, it's at the Methodist church down the road. It can't. How crazy can it possibly be? Well,
I'm taking a look. You're going to be. Let's see.
Is that episode 4? Oh no.
Oh no. You're further along.
Okay.
I mean, this.
Well, we've been trying to do it forever.
On purpose with purpose. By the way.
Yeah,
is the name of Evie Hanover's podcast.
Yeah. We've been trying to, the first time, like this crazy meeting that we got called into as a show, that was the first time that I was supposed to go. And then the second time I had the flu. So we've been trying to work on this about 3 months. So today's the actual day. So it'll be good.
Yeah, she launched it in August.
Yeah.
So, and that was the first one that I got a chance to listen to.
That's cool.
So
you
I'll
said your mama sent it
later.
Over.
Yeah.
So you know the family well. I mean, you said 20 years.
Yeah. In fact, you would know her as well. Because Tara, who you might kind of ring a bell, Our Town Monthly.
Of course. Now it all
suddenly makes sense, huh? Now it suddenly becomes, oh, wait a minute. I've heard from Tara for years.
Yes. Okay.
I hear the spots.
Yes. And
it's a very talented broadcast family.
Without a doubt. Oh, so she's not just following in Daddy's footsteps, also in Mama's footsteps.
Yeah.
That's very cool. We helped them with a couple things here on the show before. These things that Our Town were promoting, and
Well, I'm glad I let you know that now,
dude. Absolutely, because I just didn't.
You didn't know what you were walking into.
I had no idea. No idea.
Just so anybody out there, just so you know, if you tell Tug you have a podcast, he will show up at your house.
Come on.
You can lock him in a dungeon. You can do whatever you want. Just so you know, that was the block of cheese. That was him going like, oh, I'll go do a podcast. That's fine.
Well, not when Justin said he had brought it up and got my number and and sent her over. He was just like, hey, this coming your way.
That's how you end up having to put the lotion in the basket.
Well, I hope Evie's not going to do that. I mean, I'm good. That'd be terrible. Can you imagine they got a dungeon at the Methodist church? That'd be terrible.
Rubs the lotion against its skin or else it gets the hose again.
That'd be terrible. I don't want that to happen. I'm not coming. I'm out. I'm just going to bail out and just not show up. Poor thing. That'd be terrible. Well, you talk about not showing up. Nancy Pelosi, she asked for questions and got none. And at least one person I saw raise their hand toward the end, she wouldn't pick them because they weren't from the right media outlet. She knew it was going to be a challenging question. But I want you to hear what she said, because Donald Trump has called, climate, the political part of climate change, a hoax, and I believe that it is. And Bill Gates has said, it's not going to cause the end of humanity. I mean, I've been saying that for 30 years, but all of a sudden I realize the grift is up.
There's too much money in AI for me to continue this.
It's exactly right. I'm going to need these data centers.
I'm a partner with ChatGPT.
I'm going to need nuclear. I'm going to need coal. I'm going to need everything. And to prove that is true, you must realize to create one image from Grok or ChatGPT, one image, it's the same amount of power to charge your entire cell phone from 0 to fully charged. That's why he's pivoting, because the money isn't there anymore, and he realizes the grift's up. Nancy, nobody told Nancy that the grift is up. Listen to what she said about climate change.
That reminds me of how the president has projected his own characteristics onto this. He's a big projector. He'll say people are this or people are that, when it's really himself he's talking about. And he has said of this, when we were at Climate Week, many of us were at Climate Week a few weeks ago in New York, he pronounced that during Climate Week that this was a con job. This is a scam. No, Mr. President, you are projecting again. You are the con job. You are the scam.
You're the scam. You got climate change, it's you.
All right, let me give you the rundown so that you have all the information, so that you don't just say the things Tug and I are saying. You know the background information. Bill Gates has a 49% stake in OpenAI, which powers tools like ChatGPT. It's $13 billion invested in it. That's why he's not talking about climate change anymore, because the energy requirements are significant.
And when these countries, like take Germany, for example, they've gotten rid of most of their traditional energy, and they're having rolling blackouts. They're having issues heating homes because they rely on solar, they rely on wind, and those are really, really expensive to harvest. And the sun doesn't always shine, and the wind doesn't always blow. So they're in a bad way. China, they're not in a bad way. They're building coal fire plants every week. And even in New York, Donald Trump came to an agreement with Kathy Hochul about that pipeline that takes gas from Pennsylvania all the way up into New York City. Democrats are super pissed about it.
So you might say, all right, so he's got a 49% stake in OpenAI, which has tools like ChatGPT. But that's not all. Bill Gates is also invested in an AI robotics company. He's also invested in an AI drug company. This is one after another.
It's a snowball rolling, man.
Where, and again, what does AI require? Massive amounts of energy.
Why is your energy bill going up? That's the reason.
Why is Bill Gates now telling you that climate change is not a significant challenge to the planet? It's because he made the money off that grift. It's on to the next grift. This is where his money is invested. And so now climate change can't possibly be happening. The climate change warriors are going dark. Okay? They're not talking about this stuff anymore because AI has killed them.
Nobody told Nancy.
Nobody told Nancy. Poor Nancy.
She's out there.
She's all old and liquored up, all grandma vodka.
Let's tell you something.
You're projecting. You're projecting.
He's a con artist, scammer. Just screaming, hollering. It's funny to me because it's going to be a while before everybody gets the note.
Yes, she's behind by a couple of weeks.
But so many people, like regular folks that have bought into this, they're not going to let it go as easily as Bill Gates because they don't have billions invested in it.
You ever bought a jersey of a player that got traded?
Yes.
You just get rid of the jersey?
No. You keep wearing it. That's why you see Freddie Freeman jerseys over across the street at the stadium.
That's who these people are.
Yeah.
They're still wearing the jersey because they made the investment. They're looking around going like, well, what do you mean Freddie's a Dodger? What do you mean no climate change? I
paid for this.
I bought this.
I got to wear it. I'm going to buy another one.
I've been driving hybrids for 20 years.
I'm actually in an EV now. Not even a hybrid. I graduated.
I won't even fly a plane. I own a bike. You know?
Yeah,
it's like all of them.
They can't let it go. They got masks.
You got scammed.
They got masks in their pockets.
That's right, just in case.
In case something breaks out.
Is there a pandemic?
Oh, I'm going to wear this because you do see. Now, I try to be forgiving when I see some older people wearing them because I don't know what they're helping. It could be a cancer thing, right? But when I see young, healthy people wearing masks, in my head, I'm like, idiot.
Well, you just have to take them aside and say, do you know that Bill Gates ditched out on climate change?
Yeah, he's done with that.
You'll catch up with that in a little while.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a while, maybe even a few years.
Like, do you think when you remove that mask, when like the red pill does occur, and you're like, man, I got lied to on a whole lot of stuff.
You got to want to, dude. You got to want to.
Nancy. Poor Nancy Pelosi.
She's out there. He's the scam.
She used to be such a lion.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now she just got
drunk.
got those rocket boobs going. Poor Nancy just hanging down to her waist. What? Just a total mess of a woman.
Lows.
What?
Enough of that.
What? Just saying, Nancy's falling apart, dude.
Oh, I know. But it's just that's a picture I didn't want to have in my head.
Well, welcome to Friday.
It is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. You never know what you'll get.
It's George Jones, a little bit of poison.
Come on. When we continue, CNN, they fact check
the rockets because they're long.
Yeah. I think I understand. I'm pretty sure.
See if I can use some AI.
Oh,
make a picture for you.
No, don't do it. Do not do it. When we continue, CNN fact checked the lovely Jasmine Crockett in real time. Can't wait to play it for you next. Not extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, November 14th. The college football weekend features both locals in action. Let's start with 16th ranked Georgia Tech. They're on the road taking on a 1-9 Boston College football team. That's going to be a 3:30 kickoff tomorrow. You can hear that game on our sister station and their app, 680 The Fan. As for 5th ranked Georgia, they have a top 10 matchup Saturday night in Athens. They host the Texas Longhorns. That kickoff is set for 7:30. The Atlanta Hawks, they've won 4 straight after closing out a back-to-back with a win against the Utah Jazz, 132-122. As for Jalen Johnson, he posts a triple-double, 31 points, 18 rebounds, and 14 assists. The Hawks close out the West Coast road trip Sunday in Phoenix. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Yeah, we had the cold snap, and now we're trending in the right direction. But this, I believe, is a good opportunity to take advantage of what Central Heating and Air Conditioning is offering. Chuck and his team offering something pretty rare. 2 incentives. You can upgrade to a dependable Carrier system, turning to your Atlanta Carrier experts at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and get up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit. Central and Carrier set the standard in heating and cooling for the past 3 generations. Now your chance to bring that comfort home with the best savings of the season. But here's the thing. This is the reprieve, right? You had the cold snap. Now you got a little bit of a reprieve. If it didn't kill your old HVAC, it might the next time around. And you'd be like us. I told the story of my family. One time it happened to us. It's about 15 years ago. And it was in the evening. It was really cold. We had to build a fire in the fireplace. We slept in the living room because the heat went down. Don't let that happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon. Reckon you don't want that to happen there. So get yourself a new. It was awful. Get yourself a new Carrier system and save a whole bunch of money. That's the message right there. Now that we got the reprieves warming up a little bit, do it before the cold snap comes back. 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com, I reckon.
Calling all contractors. This is Devin Stovall with Stovall & Company, and we're here for you. We're a 3rd-generation, family-owned and operated company for 75 years and just opened our 11th location in Canton on 9500 Union Hill Road. We're proud to provide your wholesale irrigation, nursery, and landscape supply needs. How do you envision your dream outdoor space for you or your customers? We're here to fulfill them all. We all take pride in special requests and shipping right to your job site. Here at Stovall, we have it all. Check us out at StovallINC.com.
Big moments deserve big-time craftsmanship. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we've been family-owned and operated since 1982 because we know what it means to show up when it counts. Jaron Solomon here, and that's why we're proud to be an official Tacori jeweler. Each Tacori ring is handcrafted in California, going through 20 elite artisans before it hits your hands. Not mass-produced, not generic, always personal. And with Solomon Brothers, you get lifetime cleanings, unbeatable financing, and the largest Tacori selection in Georgia. Stop by a store in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg. Visit SolomonBrothers.com to book your private appointment. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, where love is in the details and legends are built to last. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs and official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
At the Honest Car Guy, the entire process is completely transparent. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee, and we even prove it by giving you a copy of the bill of sale. We can sell you any make, any year, any model, and at the Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
Securing America.
During the recent meeting of G7 foreign ministers in Canada, Secretary of State Marco Rubio discussed the continuing series of U.S. strikes against suspected narco-terrorist vessels in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific.
The United States is under attack from organized criminal narco-terrorists in our hemisphere, and the president is responding in the defense of our country.
The secretary added that just stopping suspected drug boats is not enough.
Problem is interdictions alone are not effective. You have to disincentivize this industry that these terrorists are using to flood our country with heroin, with cocaine, with fentanyl.
Rubio saying, though, that these strikes are not open-ended.
It can stop tomorrow if they stop sending drug boats.
And also adding, the bottom line is,
the president is going to defend the national interest and the national security of the United States.
Rubio says American forces are starting to see less drug vessels on the water. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Georgia politicians, if you want to win your election, the path to victory runs through Xtra 106.3. Xtra listeners are some of the most engaged, active in their communities, and outspoken on their beliefs, especially when it comes time to vote. So now's the time to get involved before our listeners move on to someone else. Tell the candidate you're voting for that if they want to win, the path to victory runs through Xtra 106.3 FM and the Xtra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3. We just watched the scene from Sling Blade where
Carl goes
he's there to get something to eat at the Tasty Freeze or whatever it is.
He wants the big taters.
And he's like, what you like to eat in there? Or what you reckon you like? What you reckon's good to eat in there? That's what it is. And it's so funny. How much you want for him?
It's a movie from 30 years ago that still, for some reason, this week just keeps cracking us up because we saw an interview with Billy Bob Thornton.
He was on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan and Los had sent it to me. And it is so good. And he grew up in Arkansas, and there was just so much conversation around language. And the way he talks, not necessarily the slowness or the awkwardness or the not looking at people, but the actual words that he uses, everybody in my family uses those. Like, I've heard a million times, what do you reckon they want for it? You know, what do you want for him?
And Billy Bob Thornton gets into that when he does the Rogan podcast. He starts talking about how what you think of as hillbilly is a version of basically a particular type of English that was spoken in Britain and then kind of altered and changed once it got to the South.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, it's fascinating. I would love to do a deep dive on that, just how the language.
Like, as you said, reckon.
Yeah, I reckon. Like, I say it like that, like Swing Blade now, but I grew up saying I reckon and still say I reckon. Reckon, why do they do that? I still say it. It's such a natural thing for me to say, and it's so. When I watch that movie, as dark as it is, I do believe that it has such a sweet overtone, and it seems impossible that it could, but it does.
But you're using words that aren't words, but everyone knows what they mean.
Absolutely right. So cool. You know, our friend Joe Hamilton, runner-up for the Heisman Trophy at Georgia Tech, incredible guy. Love Joe Ham. He talked about being from, he's a little ways from Charleston, and I forget the name of the city he's from, a little community he's from. But he said when he got to Georgia Tech, because he had such a dialect that wasn't spoken even in Charleston, which was the closest city, that they had to give him speech lessons. He told me this because we were talking about language and accents. He said they had to give him speech lessons at Georgia Tech because the people in the huddle didn't understand what he was saying.
So a friend of mine who was a roommate for, I think we were together for a semester or a year, is guy Ty Lowe. And he was from a particular small country town in Texas.
God love him.
When he showed up, first off, it's like, now I'm in the big city. And not that Fort Worth is a big city. It's like 500,000 people, but that was big city to him. There were things that he would say that you would sit back for a moment and be like, huh?
What do you say?
Like, for instance, I'd never heard of yaunt.
Oh, yaunt to?
Yaunt to.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to?
Yaunt to.
Yaunt to.
Yeah.
Like, yaunt to.
Dude.
Yaunt to? Like, are you saying, do you want to?
Yes. It's all run together. Yaunt to.
Yeah.
And dude,
so there were little things like that where you would, huh? Oh, okay.
And that wouldn't even perk my ears at all because it's so. I say it. I still to this moment say it, and I grew up saying it. I love the Appalachian accent. It's so. It's because I grew up with it, so it's very endeared. It's endearing to me. And when I hear
except
people,
to management and ownership,
yeah, exactly. Probably not as much. But I've told you this before. I remember first getting into radio, they're like, you can't talk like that. You can't talk like that. And I was like, okay, well, you can't hire me because I can't fix this. It just is what it is.
I can't fix this.
It just is what it is.
I've seen Sling Blade.
And I was raised by people that talk just like him, you reckon? You know? You don't do. All right. And Jeff Foxworthy even did a skit. Have you ever heard Foxworthy's You don't do skit?
Yeah.
So good. Yeet yet? No. Jeet yet? No. Jew? You don't do. All right.
Yeah, he didn't do Jeet yet, but he would do Yont.
Yeah, well, but that just means you didn't pick on him. I guarantee you
Probably
said
so.
Jeet yet. I guarantee it. There's no doubt.
Man, Ty, nobody dipped like that man.
Just have a lipper.
We had bottles in the house in random places just because you never knew when he needed to get rid of his lipper.
Absolutely, dude. And so here's...
So imagine speaking that way with a giant lipper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there were moments where it was, huh?
I have no idea what you said. The people some of the people that I grew up with up in Northwest Georgia, they wouldn't even use like Coke bottles. They would use old cans like bean cans or soup cans. They would use that as their spit cups or whatever. And, you know, a lot of people thought it was gross, and it is. But it still to this day doesn't bother me because
it doesn't bother me.
I grew up around it so much.
It's gross. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here. Jasmine Crockett. Speaking of out there, you know, Dallas, that area. She
Sunny South Dallas.
Yeah, she grew up. You know, Silver Spoon. Tries to act like she didn't. Like I embrace the fact that I didn't grow up with Silver Spoon. I embrace the fact that I speak the way I do.
She is Oak Lawn Dallas. She tries to make herself sound like she's Sunny South Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's different. Like, it's the same thing when you hear about whether it's like Matthew Stafford talked about, like, hey, I grew up in like the richest area of Dallas, and that's so I wasn't used to some of the things that I saw when I got older. Okay, she's used to the same stuff. So she's playing a version of what she thinks black women in South Dallas are supposed to be and sound like.
I want you to hear as she gets, because she's so uninformed, I want you to hear when she gets fact-checked on CNN by the anchor that's talking to her about the redaction in that email when you already knew the name of the person that was redacted.
This having to do with the Epstein files,
right.
The Epstein email from 48 hours ago.
This is an email from April 2nd, 2011. Republicans are saying that victim is Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide. She's been very outspoken victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the email right here on your screen. She wrote a book, as you know, and she did not accuse him of any wrongdoing. What do you make of that, and can you confirm that?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted who the victim is, so I won't necessarily take the Republicans' word on who it is that's redacted. And I don't know why they would necessarily redact someone's name who is deceased at this point.
The Democrats did that, though. The Democrats redacted.
No. I understand,
Okay,
but I'm just saying,
No, you don't.
Our biggest concern is to actually make sure that we are protecting.
And then she goes on to try to cover her tracks like she knew what
I don't know why they redacted it. They didn't.
Yeah, is actually the Democrats. Oh, I know.
And by the way, we read all of the unredacted portions 6 months ago when you tried the story initially.
This is nothing new. But how did she not know that? How did she not know? She's not a dumb woman. How did she not know? And then
why would you go on? It's different if I'm just hanging out in the cafeteria, if I'm just walking on the street, heading back to my car. I went on CNN and I didn't know the story before I was asked about it.
Maybe you should have read something about it. But I'm sure she's not used to getting challenged. She's used to getting softballs because that's what the mainstream media is going to give her. They're never going to challenge her. All of a sudden, CNN, seeing that $1 billion threat of a lawsuit at the BBC, they make sure that they dot the I's across the T's. We shared a couple quotes this morning.
I mean, in the unlikely event that I'm ever asked to do television ever again, and somebody wants me to comment on, let's say, the Braves season next August, if I haven't watched any games, is that going to be good?
No, it'd probably be tough. Probably tough.
She showed up on CNN without having any idea what the story was.
Well, why would I believe the Republicans? Why would I believe them?
I don't know why they would redact it.
They didn't. And then she bloviates and she tries to, spin
I support all victims. All right.
Spin out of it. And it just sounds like a buffoon. And that's the thing that is it should be so telling to you. When you hear her speak about anything else, know where she's coming from. She has no idea. She's just going to take the political line, whatever the political line is. The failure of the ACA is not our fault. And a common sense Democrat admits that as much. We'll let you hear from that person next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
We'll add Seattle, Washington to the list of cities going down the tubes. They have a new mayor. Her name is Katie Wilson. She's a community organizer, still lives off of her parents' money. Both parents, by the way, professors. And what is she going to do as mayor of Seattle? City-run grocery stores. Sound familiar? Tax the rich. Sound familiar? College dropout, no surprise. And she says, I'm absolutely fine with being called a socialist. Hope she's fine with being called an idiot, too. But anyway, she has announced that she is going to somehow forbid grocery stores from moving out of the city of Seattle. It can be losing money, but they're not allowed to leave. At least I haven't heard the New York commie say that yet, but I'm sure he will in short order. Not allowed to leave. Does that remind you of anything? How about Berlin? They built a wall. If you tried to leave that workers' paradise, you were shot in the back and killed. So what are the penalties if a grocery store closes down or tries to leave the socialist paradise of Seattle? I want to take you back to earlier this week when I told you about an essayist that explained to us why Gen Zers love socialism so much. It's because they can't get a job. They cry if somebody tells them they have to work 40 hours a week. Seriously. And the reason their job prospects are so miserable is because of capitalism. Therefore, I'm a socialist. So now we have New York and Seattle to watch. It ought to be a real fun game. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Thousands of veterans across Georgia are missing out on the benefits they've earned through their service. The Warrior Alliance is changing that by connecting veterans and their families to life-changing resources and support. Tune into the Warrior Alliance Network, our podcast and radio show dedicated to helping veterans succeed after service. Join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Talk Radio 106.3 to hear inspiring veteran stories, discover free programs, and learn about career opportunities available to you. Subscribe to the Warrior Alliance YouTube channel today.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. A reckoning is coming. There is bipartisan rage at both parties for not hammering out a deal to end the shutdown quickly, especially with major air traffic control delays, multiple missed paychecks for federal employees, stress, economic consequences, and no SNAP benefits for the needy. For Republicans, the reckoning could be the long-running resistance by GOP leaders to address spiking health care subsidies. Yes, the GOP made compelling arguments that health care subsidies are necessary because Obamacare is a problem, so Republicans are back fighting against Obamacare. Republicans, despite multiple campaign promises and dozens of efforts to kill the law over a 6-year period, failed at nearly every turn. Despite issues with Obamacare, Democrats annexed the public's concern about health care costs and linked that to government funding. A major reckoning looms for the Democrats, too. Will liberals perceive Democrats as having fought hard enough during the shutdown? After all, the shutdown goal for Democrats was about demonstrating fight, and it's unclear if Democrats achieved that aim. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
It's a Make America Affordable Again agenda. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Now that the government shutdown is over, Vice President Vance tells Fox's Hannity.
I know that there are a lot of people out there, Sean, who are saying things are expensive. And we have to remember they're expensive because we inherited this terrible inflation crisis from the Biden administration.
Yesterday, the White House announced the removal of tariffs on certain imports out of El Salvador, Argentina, Ecuador, and Guatemala as part of framework agreements aimed to lower the prices of goods, including bananas, coffee, and cocoa. The expectation is that retailers will pass on the cost savings to consumers.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House. The shutdown cost the economy an estimated $90 billion, slowed growth, and stopped inflation and unemployment data collection, leading leading to uncertainty about future interest rate cuts, prompting the biggest sell-off on Wall Street in a month, and Dow futures down another 200 points this morning. Air travel isn't back to normal yet, but Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble reports from Reagan National in D.C.
Air traffic controllers are coming back to work in large numbers. The flight-mandated cuts are still in place at 6% at 40 major airports across the country, including this one. But the good news is that there are fewer delays and cancellations so far today than there have been in about a week or so. We're looking at around 500 flights delayed, around 600 of them canceled.
There are fresh casualties of war in Ukraine's capital. Another Russian barrage of drones and missiles hit Kyiv, doing damage, starting fires, killing 5 people, wounding at least 34, as Ukraine deals with a $100 million corruption scandal.
One of 7 charged suspects, a former business partner of Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. It was Zelensky last summer who, in the middle of this investigation, tried to weaken the anti-corruption bodies, worried Ukraine could be falling back to past corrupt ways. And it comes when Kyiv depends on billions of dollars of support from foreign countries in its fight with Russia. Its reputation is critical.
That's Fox's Greg Palcott. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Yeah, I got your app. I'm so glad Conservative Talk is back on the air.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Coming back, 8 o'clock hour with the Doors. Goodness.
Dirty Doors.
The Dirty Doors tonight.
Coming. In Cumming City Center.
Los is going to sneak over there.
I might.
And
I'm pondering.
I may do that same thing.
You want to make it a date?
See if I can...
I'm going to Uber over there.
See if I can talk wifey into going. See if she's interested.
I'm going to be third wheel.
No, dude, what?
That's fine.
There's no third wheel.
It's fine. I'll bring Jure.
Exactly. There you go. But it didn't matter. If everybody's just standing there singing to the top of your lungs.
It is. It's an outdoor amphitheater. Yeah. It's cool.
So, yeah, there's no third wheels at a concert. It's just a bunch of people singing songs that you love. And
let it roll.
Let it roll. Listen to Jure, but he's ready to go.
Doors will get me fired up.
Dude, I love the Doors. I love them.
So here, that's what
Dude, that's a real... I've not been there.
It's cool. It's a cool scene for that Lou Saab outdoor amphitheater. Yeah. And again, it's just all lawn seating, so you just bring a chair out and...
Shoot, yeah.
Check out the band. Yeah, this is what I was telling you about, how you've got the water behind it, and then you got the... It's not mountains, but I mean, obviously you got these rolling hills and a tree line and everything behind it. It's really cool.
Here we go. All night long. But if that'll get you fired up, your wood's wet.
And all these behind here are bars and restaurants. So you can just hang out at the bars and restaurants or walk out to the lawn.
Dude, that's such a great location. Cumming City Center is so cool.
It's like 4 miles from my house.
Yeah.
So that's one of the places we always go to.
They did such a great job with that.
Yeah, when we got the word that, hey, Cumming's going to add like a outdoor space, because my wife was not jazzed about when we first moved to Cumming that there wasn't anything like what, downtown Roswell or what Woodstock has or anybody else or Alpharetta. And then we got Cumming City Center. Yeah, we're like, oh, cool.
But
and they're adding another one right down the street from our house.
Downtown Swanee, too.
Yeah.
Downtown Beaufort. Everywhere. This whole area is doing such great work.
Every year, I always made it a point we'd go to Swanee Beer Fest and go downtown Swanee.
So cool.
Have a good time with that thing. It was so much fun.
And you said they're building another?
They're building another one off of Exit 18 that's going to be another one of those in a similar way. It's not going to be like Avalon, but I will believe it's going to be more like Halcyon that you see off of McFarland.
Just a little bit smaller,
a little bit
same
smaller,
concept.
but same concept.
Yeah. Be crazy.
Hello, property value.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's up?
And then wait till they build the, whatever that new place is that's going to have the new hockey facility.
That's going to be up near us too.
Going to get announced in December, I believe. But that's kind of the backside of it. We could literally go out the back of our neighborhood and be there, right there where they're building that. And that new exit they're building off George 400. So, And then downtown Woodstock is amazing. And Jure can talk about all.
We got that nice amphitheater up there.
Shoot, yeah. Downtown
a lot
Marietta.
of great restaurants, good bars. A new place called JD's on Main.
Okay.
That same people that have the place on the lake over there.
Okay.
And I forget what it was.
JD's on the lake. Is that the one that was in Ozark?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool, man. There's just so much that we're so fortunate and so blessed to have in Metro Atlanta.
I want you to look up the crossing at Coal Mountain.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting here pretty soon.
Love Coal Mountain areas.
They already started building it.
I've seen the construction
roads.
over through there.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the next hangout spot for me, I believe.
Shoot, yeah. Let me see if I can see these photos.
Go see the photos,
dude. Yeah.
I'll be like, come on, Tug, come over to the crossing.
Come on.
Or we'll go to Cummings City Center and see the doors.
Either way,
the dirty doors.
Whatever it is, we'll do all of it and be happy. I hope you got big plans for the weekend too. I hope you got something that you're looking forward to. And you're going to be able to just wind down and relax. And maybe you're going to watch some Georgia football. Maybe watch some Georgia Tech football. Dre be watching some Alabama football. Whatever it is that'll keep you entertained this weekend, I hope you got big plans. And I hope you're looking forward to them. Because there's just nothing better than a weekend with... and maybe the plan is to do nothing but park on the couch and watch football. That's plans. It just happens to be more laid-back plans. But, the crossing, Coal Mountain, that looks good.
So when y'all downsize, you can just move further north.
Shoot, yeah, man. At some point. Maybe at some point. But that's what I think is part of the plan, because we played the audio earlier of J.D. Vance talking about how they're going to achieve at least one piece of their plan on how to achieve getting younger voters some upward mobility and being able to buy a home in America. And it comes down to supply and demand. Maybe taking some folks that don't belong here, that aren't supposed to be here, and sending them back to their home country. And then that opens up, that takes the ice off of people selling homes. And maybe the home values come down very slightly, but it does give an opportunity for there actually to be buying and selling because the market's pretty tight. And nobody's taking the brunt of that more than the younger generation. And we want them to be in a good position. I mean, that's exactly what you want to hand off to your kids and your grandkids, a very strong and robust America.
I think that's the next challenge outside of when I think about, obviously, college, university, all that sort of stuff, and the costs that are involved. And then you think, okay, do we have some weddings down the line? All right. The next one then becomes, what about that home? Because that was something, as we've talked about on this show, you and I did this with our wives at an age that young people don't understand anymore. You and I were both buying homes at like 24 years old because it was no different from a mortgage standpoint to
rent or own.
Right. It was no different. And so it just became, all right, well, who will lend you money? And can I qualify? And this is how we ended up in the housing crisis. This is what occurred when people bought more than they could afford. But that ended up being what's created wealth and comfort for people is home ownership over the years. So if you can't start, you can't get that race going when you're young,
39,
until you're near 40. I think the numbers had changed where the average age was 26, and it's now moved to, I believe it's just outside of 38. Mm-hmm. It's a different world.
Absolutely nuts. And going back quickly about that housing crisis, though, you're talking about people buying more than biting off more than they could chew. And there were people that did that for sure because the opportunity was there, and they're like, why not? Go ahead, But
it never. The price of homes never goes down.
No. But then on top of that, people that had no business in the moment, not that they had no business never, but they had no business in the moment buying a home, and then and the fact that they couldn't afford any home, and then they gave them too much home, and then all of that collapsed. And again, Democrat policy. away from common sense, things that just don't add up. And that's what they do every time. And it goes back to something that you bring up a lot, the intent versus the outcome.
Because of what occurred with Dodd-Frank, this is something I've had to explain ad nauseum to younger people, because they always ask the same thing. And I appreciate it. Like I said, this is my Charlie Kirk moment. Well, how'd you do this? I'm like, well, the rules by which Tug and I were able to do this are not available any longer. Well, what do you mean? Well, now with Dodd-Frank and so much of the legislation that came out of the housing crisis, you better have 20% down or the backing of a loan that's going to cover the 20%. The way that when we say, and just as you put it, Tug, well, you have no business buying this. Quite honestly, I don't know if my wife and I had any business buying that house.
Yeah.
Now, could we afford it? Yeah. Did any of the mortgage qualifications that we've had moving forward ever apply? None of them. Not one.
Goodness.
Didn't have. We basically were able to breathe on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And they're like, good enough.
Well, but see, I would imagine because people who actually could breathe on a piece of paper were getting them when they saw at least both of you are employed, both of you are working, both of you have income. They're like, shoot, sign them up.
This is an A+ here.
Yeah, exactly.
But, and that's what I've tried to explain, that now it is so much more stringent as far as securing that loan and securing that home, that the stuff that I was doing at 24 years old, no 24-year-old is going to have access to the same.
That's exactly right. And you talk about, expensive costs, and the Trump administration has done a good job. Grocery costs are down, gas prices are down, but healthcare is not. And that was their whole thing. Even though healthcare has not even been the top 5, I don't think, of whatever that AJC poll was that you had earlier this week, healthcare, wherever it ranked, it was definitely down the list, even though that's what they made the entire shutdown about, was healthcare. We didn't do this. The Obama administration did this.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault. And we've talked about it. We've said it a dozen times.
Healthcare was 5% for us in the AJC poll. It was 12% for Democrats, and that actually ranked 4th on their list.
So it's down the list a little bit. Resisting Donald Trump was the major. That was the most important to them. But a guy that, and we didn't get to this earlier, but I think it'll work in here too, a guy that fell down yesterday and was taking a beating on Blue Sky. We can talk about that after he comes to our aid. He comes to our rescue and backs us up when we say we had nothing to do with Obamacare and those subsidies. That's on the Democrats. And this is John Fetterman saying so.
To people that are watching, it's like the Democrats. We designed these to expire at the end of the year. This wasn't something the Republicans are taking. It's like, that's how we designed this.
Yeah, that's how we designed it. We designed these subsidies to go away. And now they want to say, well, you have no heart. You're taking the subsidies away. You're going to make people's insurance go that much higher. No, we're not. We had nothing to do with it. It is not our fault. And John Fetterman, who the left hates, he's almost public enemy number 1 at this point, is taking a beating over it.
We talked about the numbers yesterday. So there was a poll October 1 that was done, and it showed that when it came to the state of Pennsylvania registered voters, John Fetterman, as of now, is a +4 overall. He's doing well with Republicans. He's doing well with independents. He was underwater on October 1st by 21 points with Democrats. You fast forward, another poll on November 12th. John Fetterman has been underwater. He's doing well with Republicans. He's doing well with independents. He's a -41 now with Democrats in the state of Pennsylvania. And so that's what has occurred once he went ahead and took the stand that we should not have any sort of shutdown. Now, I was just taking a look just out of curiosity because he did bring up in an interview that by far the left is much more
vicious. Dude, the word is vicious.
Said the vitriol is incredible. That, yeah, the right will call you names. The left wants you dead. That dude hasn't posted on Blue Sky in over 3 weeks. I think he just left it entirely. He's like, I'm not dealing with this stuff anymore.
Why would you stay there?
I don't know.
Knowing that it's just a violent echo chamber. That's all it is.
And then, of course, yesterday, it cranks up that once he fell.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And injured himself, which he just finished talking about what they root for.
They said, I hope your kids find you after another stroke. That's what he told Dana Bash, and Dana Bash on CNN acted surprised. She knows how violent, how much vitriol comes out, how vicious the left is, the loving left. But she did. She acted like, oh, wow, I can't believe this. And the things that they were saying to him were just awful. And I would imagine it continued after he fell. I would imagine that the same type of thing shows up, and the same ugliness, the same viciousness, Los, is still out there. Are you seeing it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Los has got Blue Sky pulled up.
But it includes, and we told you, like, his numbers were down by 21 points in October 1, which is, you're barely into a shutdown. But why were his numbers down? And you'll find it right here. Israel is your country you choose.
Of course. You can't say this is our best ally in the Middle East.
And by the way, that's what they were saying after they found out he fell down.
Yeah. Just slow down, man. It's dirty. And I don't know why. No, I do. It's just their nature, unfortunately. I would like to think that there are Democrats out there more like John Fetterman. But if that is the case, they'll be leaving that party because that party is dead as we know it. As a matter of fact, Chris Cuomo said it.
I was surprised. He brought this up the other night on his show. And I think we've talked about the Democrat Civil War for the better part of now like 3 or 4 months. As it was brewing, we're like, this is on the way. And then it turned into Tug asking the question, well, how do you have a party? Shouldn't something come from this? And I've looked at it as, well, at some point they're going to have to center. They're going to have to move back to where an area where like the Bill Maher's of the world, the classic liberal is. I don't know how that actually happens. And I think that's where Chris Cuomo is flat out telling you, as you know it, whatever, when your grandfather's like, I'm a Democrat, and your dad, I'm a Democrat.
Dude, can I give you a quick example?
Yeah.
Kenny Chesney sat down with Bill Maher, and he talked about, my grandpa was a Democrat. He worked for TVA, Alabama. In their music, you hear those references. Old-time Democrat working for TVA, being working people. Chesney said to Bill Maher, my grandpa used to joke, I'm a Democrat, but I'm saving up to being a Republican. Those days are OVER done.
Is that the Tennessee Valley Authority?
It is, TVA, yes. There you go.
Wasn't exactly sure, but I was like, I think that's the working man's group over there, yeah.
Dude, TVA, when they did the nuclear reactors in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, so where all that kind of started.
You're working man.
So much. They're just regular, everyday, good working people.
So this is Chris Cuomo telling you what I have not believed was going to happen, but I'm coming around to it.
I'm not impressed by the history of this being the longest government shutdown. It's a regrettable history. I think this is an historic moment for another reason. I think the Democratic Party, as we know it, is about to end. I think that this is the birth of the new left. I think the reason that you see so many high-profile Democrats, especially in the House, accusing the Democratic senators for ending the shutdown of basically being traitors. Did you hear AOC? She was literally accusing them of like a conspiracy. And she said, in exchange for nothing. It's really interesting to me. It makes so little sense on the merits that I have to believe it's a ploy. Why? Well, look, forget about the tricky bit of arguing we should have kept going with this when there are thousands of federal workers and their families not being paid, millions of people in need not getting full SNAP benefits, all the stuff going on with the flights. That's not an easy thing to want more of. So was there some deal on the table that we don't know about? Was something getting close that they know that we don't? Because if that's not the case, and we're about to talk to somebody who absolutely knows if it were the case, certainly better than AOC or Jeffries would, because he's one of the Senate Democrats who was part of this process. If that's not what they know, then what this is really is a line in the sand for them.
he says new left, and I wrote that down. What does the new left look like then? Communism, socialism, Marxism? Is that the new left that he's referring to? Or does he think there's going to be a spin-off party that is more like the classic liberal, like a Bill Maher? Does he... I just couldn't tell where he was going.
There's an evolution. There's something that is going on here. Now, I've talked about the new right, but what have I said about the new right? It's attitudinal. It's how you react to how you're treated in terms of somebody tells you a liar, well, pull up the phone messages. If somebody tries to set the premise, reject the premise and make your argument. Because for a long time, the right has just said, well, hopefully the left will just like us more. Maybe they'll like us tomorrow. No,
never.
But it has never been changing what your values are. It's never been about that. I'm like, hold your same values, but fight for them differently. It's different that the Democrat values are what is changing completely.
And there's no. That's why I wonder when he says new left. Does that mean new party, or does that just mean the Democrat Party now is the party of communism, social, or maybe both? Maybe it means a little bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to compare this to, say, me or Tug, I'm like, okay, we're going to wear a different hat tomorrow. Still the same person. The Democrats are looking to do plastic surgery.
That's right.
It's like, it's not just a hat change. It's like, how do I change all of this?
How do I look like Dolly Parton? That's a lot of plastic surgery. That's a lot of change.
You going to get some D's on you?
Yeah. Maybe so.
Imagine if Tug showed up here and he was like, I've gone through a change.
Well, I'm transitioning, boys.
My wife doesn't understand.
She's threatening to leave me. But I don't care.
But look what I got now.
I'm changing. I'm the new left. Yeah. That would be, boy, I'll tell you, that would probably surprise some people.
Guess surprise me and Jeray, totally.
Living in your truth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Living your truth.
Not the truth, just your truth, whatever that is.
Your chest is all still hairy. Dude. It'd be real creepy.
But giant. Just giant. Look like Sawney Mountain. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra, 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. When we come back, the Dems Epstein strategy has completely backfired. That's what we'll discuss next.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Glenn Beck until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And The Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Steel. All of your fall projects. Are they piling up on you? Are you now starting to look around the yard and you're like, oh no, I got some cleanup to do. I got some cutting to do. Well, maybe you need some power and dependability. That is where Steel Power Equipment comes into play. Blowers, they can take care of it with your yard. Chainsaws, trimmers, that's going to make the fall cleanup much easier. Steel has the tools built to last season after season. And when you're ready to gear up, head on over to Howard Brothers. They're a trusted steel dealer. They're your trusted steel dealer. Their team will help you find exactly what you need to make fall jobs far more easy for yourself. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Steel and Howard Brothers.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers with my dad, Mike. Dad, why are we always talking about Christmas before Thanksgiving?
Because now is when you start thinking about those seriously special Christmas gifts. The ones that impress her friends, the in-laws.
Now's the time for custom, personalized jewelry gifts designed just for you by our expert jewelers.
Whether it's a custom birthstone pendant or that one-of-a-kind dream engagement ring, our jewelers can make something you can't find anywhere.
And why design it with D. Geller & Son?
Easy. We're the experts. Add unbeatable quality and value, and you have an unforgettable gift that lasts a lifetime, not the last thing left in December.
It's also a great time to shop the classics, from timeless pearl strands for $135 to gold and diamond hoops for $13.95. Buying now gives you time for 0% APR financing or free layaway.
So beat the crowd, play it smart, and plan ahead this holiday season.
At D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Mike Plant, President and CEO of the Braves Development Company.
I think back about 2003 when I started with the Braves and just knew we had to create a destination that people wanted to come to year-round. We had a blank canvas, and I think we had a pretty good feel for what would be a year-round destination, mixed-use development, lifestyle center, all those. Fortunately, we have this incredible relationship long-term with Georgia Power. Right away, they saw our vision, they got our vision, they understood it, and they knew they needed to be a big part of that. They are leaders as far as being part of this community. We don't have power, we don't have life, So, they've been a great partner of ours, and they're there with us every step of the way.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit GeorgiaPower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
Los, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the Honest Car Guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. It really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. On a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000. But it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%. Well, really, it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Today is Friday, November 14th. 2 Atlanta-based companies made the top 10 on Forbes' most trusted companies list. Chick-fil-A and Delta Airlines both scored high marks for trust among employees, customers, and investors. The list ranked companies with over 1,000 employees based on financial performance, customer and employee ratings, media reputation, and employee longevity. Microsoft announced the launch of its Fairwater 2 data center in Atlanta. The company calls it the world's first AI super factory. The site is directly connected to another dedicated Microsoft data center in Wisconsin focused solely on AI. Some residents have expressed concern over the rise of data centers in Georgia. Microsoft is pointing to sustainable efficiencies in its design. And the university system in Georgia has set an all-time enrollment record again. Over 382,000 students are enrolled in 26 public colleges or university this fall in Georgia, almost 5% higher than fall of last year. This is the third year in a row enrollment has record-breaking growth. Today's weather sunny with highs in the mid-70s, and we've got a beautiful weekend on the way. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
God, ain't nothing I like here more than a beautiful weekend in store. Perfect college football, just being outside, being with friends, being with family. God, there's nothing better than a beautiful weekend in Atlanta. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT. CentralHeat.com is the website right now, up to $2,100 off, or not even or. I keep saying or, and it's and 60 months, 0% financing for a new carrier system. 770-GET-HEAT, CentralHeat.com. Call Chuck and his team. If you call right now, ask for Chuck. They'll be like, well, he's either on his way in or he's in the office. He will be there. He's a real person.
You can, I'm not saying you don't have to be mean. But if you say, damn it, I want to talk to Chuck.
I'm putting my foot down.
Put some priority on it.
That's exactly right.
They'll probably take care of that for you.
Yeah, right. They'll probably be like, Chuck, can you at least yell from, over at your desk? Just yell and say, hey, that's me. I'm Chuck. Chuck is a great dude, lives right around the corner from the radio station here at the Battery, Atlanta, home at your Atlanta Braves. And it's just a good family-run business, and they've been doing it for 78 years. Second generation, locally owned. 78 years. You heard me right, 78. So this whole Epstein thing, I found it interesting because Mike Johnson had to kind of reset on something. Because when Donald Trump calls this thing a hoax, he's not saying what Epstein did is a hoax. And I was glad that Mike Johnson cleared that up. He's saying the way the Democrats are using it is a hoax. And that's the truth. They're trying to get a gotcha. They're trying to have something that'll stick to Donald Trump because nothing really does. But that strategy, Los, has been a failure. Complete failure.
Yeah, I was looking at this and I put this story aside because of what you brought up yesterday. When you started saying, wait a minute, you recognize the ridiculous circular logic of putting this out there, and what you've actually done is you've actually exposed that the New York Times was aiding Epstein and letting him know, listen, the feds are looking into you. That should be the story, right?
Absolutely right. That writer specifically, the one that tipped Epstein off and said, hey, they're digging around, guy named Landon Thomas. He's not with them anymore, and I think the reason behind that was because they found out that he was tipping them off. The other one is a writer named Michael Wolff, who was coaching up Epstein to say, hey, if you use this correctly, you'll have leverage on a sitting president. 2 people at the New York Times were helping Jeffrey Epstein, and no one said a word about it.
Nobody said a word.
I'm not seeing anybody say it anywhere on social media, on the news, nowhere.
So here's where I say the strategy backfired. All right, so there's that, right? At some point, somebody's going to go, wait a minute. 2 different people aiding Epstein.
Same organization.
With the same news organization, we're aiding him, okay? So that's number one. What we also found out, Epstein, because remember, it was Epstein's got all this stuff on Trump. Well, no, he didn't. In fact, if you go through the emails, he hated Trump.
Hated him.
So let me get this straight. The guy hated Trump, but he had him over all the time?
Yeah, come on.
He included him in what was going to eventually have him indicted, have him jailed, and have him killed? They weren't friends. He didn't trust him. That is all. Again, he was running a multinational honeypot organization, but a guy he didn't trust and he didn't like was his confidant.
That's not the way it works. I mean, that just defies common sense. Defies logic.
So that's the wild part when you get into this, that they also had a portion of it where you recognize within the emails that Russiagate was a hoax. So the Democrats, in one afternoon, one morning of dropping information, acknowledged that the New York Times was helping Epstein, 2 different people there, that Epstein and Trump were not close, that he hated him, that he didn't trust him, that here is this one that basically Trump is spilling his beans to an attorney. He's the informant.
He's the informant.
And Russiagate is a hoax. That was your strategy. Like, I'm gonna fire this off and let's see what happens here.
Wait till they see this. They won't know what to do.
Did you think that no one could read? What kind of strategy is this? Who is doing this?
They think that no one takes the time to read.
I guess not. Maybe it was just we just want the headline, but the headline's not worth it.
No. Well, but
not in this world, not the way this works now.
This morning on MSNBC, though, they have been running with, this is a bad time for all this to come up again against Donald Trump. And I couldn't help to think to myself, for who?
For you?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, right. Maybe for y'all. But they tried to frame it, at least on the Super, the crying down the bottom. They were talking about how it's a bad time for Trump to have all this bubble up. And I say, couldn't be a better time. Couldn't be a better time. Because it tells you, just like Los laid out, everything has been a hoax. All of it's garbage. You know it. Your gut told you that. The facts never lined up. The people who testified in court and wrote books said none of it's right. And then the emails that they share says Trump is hated by the man that he's supposed to be helping. It's just none of it.
How does that make any sense?
Who are you trying to convince in MSNBC?
They're in cahoots with each other, but he hates him, doesn't trust him, and he's found out that Trump's the rat.
Yeah. So let's spill our guts to him.
Why, if you ever wanted to create this sort of narrative that their buddies are in it together, he's all over the files, why would you release that knowing that all you have to do is read a little bit and go, oh, yeah, it ain't exactly, that's not what you mean.
Well, because nobody
will read it.
Jasmine Crockett didn't?
No, Jasmine Crockett, she went on CNN, didn't even read it.
Had to be corrected on the air. Saying, well, I don't trust the Republicans. They redacted that name. They're telling us who they think it is. I don't trust them. Well, Jasmine is actually the your party.
It's your party that put this out here and redacted it.
Well, and then she goes into just, dog on ice mode trying to get out of it and looking foolish.
Outside of what you brought up in terms of the New York Times working to let Epstein know that there's a federal investigation with you, I think the biggest damning part is that he didn't trust Trump at all.
Yeah.
They weren't buddies. Yeah. They weren't friends. I mean, you had the Wall Street Journal, who has been sued because of look at the Trump birthday message.
Oh, that's not going well.
And Trump is like, no, we're not settling this. Mm-mm. It's like, we're going to discovery. Let's find out where you got this. Let's see who invented this. And the Wall Street Journal still to this day is like, please, Mr. President, let us off the hook here. We messed up.
Yeah.
We tried to make it out like y'all were best friends.
And BBC, the same thing. The exact
BBC's
same thing.
in so much trouble.
Billion.
They're begging Trump to please let us off the hook here.
That's why those people stepped down, everybody that runs it, and they did a full segment talking about how we just got it wrong. Sky News, which I believe is affiliated with Fox News. I think there's the same ownership, if I'm not mistaken. Sky News did a whole breakdown of what the BBC is doing to hopefully convince Trump not to sue them for $1 billion, which would end that company.
The BBC took 3 different pieces of his speech that were as far apart as 50 minutes apart.
50.
On January 6th. And put them all together to make it sound like he was inciting violence. That's why they're going to get sued for $1 billion. That's why they're begging for forgiveness. That's why they have even their CEO is like, I'm out. Like we all got to get off this thing.
And as they talk about it, they're talking about how credibility is so important to the BBC, and they just made a mistake. And I call
$1 billion mistake.
Yeah, it is.
It's the wrong guy.
But I call BS on that. It wasn't a mistake. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh, they just and
there's no mistake.
This is what's so strange about that portion of the story. Like, I get it. New York Times is putting this stuff out here, and you go, well, that's a pretty awful, dumb error. Okay. But what you reported was basically your interpretation of it. It's not true, but it was your interpretation of it. The BBC knowingly put together false information in a country where if you tweet the wrong things, authorities knock at your door.
Post a meme, they're coming to arrest you.
Yes. And yet, you thought it was a good idea.
Rules for thee.
To go after maybe the most litigious man that's currently out there in the world.
Rules for thee, not for me. We want to have the commoners held to the standard. If you tweet out something, we're going to come knock on your door and arrest you. And you're seeing it all over. Yet, the BBC, they're way above that. They don't succumb to the laws, to the rules of the commoner until they do.
Oops.
And then things change quite greatly. Things are going to be a mess for them. I couldn't happen to a better organization. People, and I heard some libs, some of the newscasts that were shared from over there, and they're just talking about how important the BBC is, making sure that information is shared, correct information. You know, that it's so important that everybody in Europe is able to access the BBC and get the most valuable information, the most compiled information, the information that's correct. All while do you not notice what's happening? They did exactly opposite of what you're trying to tell me that they do to provide a service. Dude, who are you trying to convince? Me or yourself or Donald Trump?
It's been a wonderful week of backfires.
It has. Get a new game plan.
Yes, new game plan. I swear, you and I, for a limited fee of, let's call it $2 million, we'll split $1 million apiece.
Love that.
We could fix this. This is a communications problem.
We could do it for MSNBC. We could do it for the DNC. We could do it for the BBC.
Like, we'll sit in an office, and all you do is you come in with an idea. Hey, what do you think about this?
Nope.
And it'll be very simple. No, here's how the right is going to chew you up.
That's right. Here's why that
like
won't
not
work.
by a little bit.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's where the game is so different for them now. There used to not be such a thing as, and it's not even the right media. It's just there's now, because of X,
balanced,
so much ability to get truth out there so quickly. Like the old joke about how what is it? A lie goes around the world twice before the truth gets out of bed.
Yep.
All right, that doesn't happen anymore. It's like now the lie is out there for about 15 minutes. It gets slammed and murdered, and then it gets mocked. And then by the time you get to the afternoon, the evening, it's that day's joke about what you tried to do.
And they've deleted the tweet.
Yes.
So often.
So different now.
They've deleted the tweet. That's exactly right. Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3. The Democrats and their strategies. Good heavens. I don't know how you get it so wrong. You have to try to get it this wrong, it seems. AOC is going to take out old man Schumer, according to a friend of AOC. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, November 14th. The college football weekend features both locals in action. Let's start with 16th ranked Georgia Tech. They're on the road taking on a 1-9 Boston college football team. That's going to be a 3:30 kickoff tomorrow. You can hear that game on our sister station and their app, 680 The Fan. As for 5th ranked Georgia, they have a top 10 matchup Saturday night in Athens. They host the Texas Longhorns. That kickoff is set for 7:30. The Atlanta Hawks, they've won 4 straight after closing out a back-to-back with a win against the Utah Jazz, 132-122. As for Jalen Johnson, he posts a triple-double, 31 points, 18 rebounds, and 14 assists. The Hawks close out the West Coast road trip Sunday in Phoenix. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
It's the season of giving, and Jim Ellis Chevrolet is giving you more reasons than ever to go electric.
Shop Jim Ellis Chevrolet this holiday season and enjoy substantial year-end savings across their entire EV lineup, including the all-new Chevy Blazer EV, the versatile Equinox EV, and the powerful Silverado EV.
With a large selection of in-stock EV models and a buying process that's quick, easy, and convenient, there's never been a better time to make the switch to electric.
Whether you buy or lease, you'll find exceptional year-end offers designed to make driving a new electric Chevy more affordable than ever.
Start or complete your entire purchase online. Jim Ellis Chevrolet can even deliver your new vehicle right to your home. So plug into something new this season and let Jim Ellis Chevrolet make your holiday brighter.
Limited time holiday savings are available now at Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Visit JimEllisChevrolet.com or stop by Jim Ellis Chevy on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
Hey, folks, how you doing? Kimmer here. Before you hang those Christmas lights, get your outdoor space looking sharp. My friends at Stovall & Company have been doing it right for over 75 years. Family-owned business, locally run. They've opened their 11th location up there in Canton, Union Hill Road. You know, they have everything, by the way, trees and shrubs and stone and soil and irrigation supplies, all wholesale stuff, and they'll even deliver. If you need it right there, it's probably already on the way. Family business doing the year strong. Visit StovallInc.com. They have it all. StovallInc.com.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Hey, this is John Flading, the owner of ATL Turfco. If your grass didn't grow this summer, there's a good chance it won't grow this spring. It's time to think about a custom, low-maintenance, pet-friendly, artificial lawn that will stay green year-round. So this holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving. A perfect backyard or custom golf green from ATL Turfco. See what's possible for your home. Read our 5-star reviews and book your appointment today at atlturfco.com. Spots are filling up fast, so call now 404-825-7063.
Hey, it's Flounder, and the Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
You have officially been invited to come up for Thanksgiving dinner and spend the night. There's actually a bedroom and a bed. There's a place you can stay.
Oh, golly.
I said this would be your response, but I was told I had to ask anyway.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
Friday, thank God it's Friday. Dude, that little Bob Marley I'm hearing in my ears. It's a perfect song for a Friday. Come on.
It's very chill.
It is, which is the way I like my Friday. Very chill. Love to hang out. Love to enjoy the day, and the weather's going to be beautiful. It's just going to be a gorgeous weekend, man. We have so much to be grateful about.
I don't remember where I saw this story or what podcast, but it was a story about, it was Eric Clapton when he had I Shot the Sheriff and how it went to number 1.
Yeah.
And apparently he had put it up on his fridge and had a party. And Bob Marley was there and apparently wrote on there, "No, I shot the sheriff, Eric."
It's my song.
As a joke.
Yeah. No, that's great.
I was like, that was a really funny story when I heard it. I was like, I don't remember where I heard that.
No.
It was like a funny musician story.
Maybe one day you find it and share it with me, because
somebody will tell it to me again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you see a lot of that stuff pop up on social media. There's so many accounts that just mine for old stories like that. And it doesn't matter the format of music. There's so many out there. People just telling cool stories like that. And I've bookmarked a bunch because I don't want to forget them.
What is it? Was it VH1 Inside the Music?
Yes.
Somebody would do those documentaries on particular albums.
Yeah.
I thought those were so well done.
Me too, dude. I watched them. Even artists that I didn't really listen to, I watched them because I was fascinated by it.
I would still go check it out. Like the story of Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge is still the one that I remember the most because of the house they were recording in and how that was a poem that was found and they're like, "Hey, Ketis."
Yeah, what is this?
You know,
and he's like, "Oh, nothing. It's nothing."
And had no interest of it being on the record. And is that not the song of the record?
Without a doubt, that's the one that launched their career. I mean, they'd already had success, but I mean like next level.
Next level suddenly became
one of the bands of the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, that song about, his addiction and thinking about killing himself, but it's such a pretty song, don't realize how dark it is.
But how many songs are like that, where they're so dark, if you read through the lyrics, you're like, ooh, that's not at all what I thought I was thinking about.
That's not what I was thinking about.
Yeah, it's not what inspired me to like the song. I like the melody, I like all of it, and you find out that it's so dark.
Yeah, I'm so addicted that this is what I'm going to do.
Or vice versa. There's plenty of songs out there too that appear very dark, and then when you actually read the lyrics, you're like, oh my gosh, I've finally escaped whatever it is that's been weighing me down.
Yeah, there's
the beauty of music.
One of my favorite albums of the 90s is Everclear's second album, Sparkle and Fade. And their big song, Santa Monica, it's like, well, I mean, it's a great song. Everybody
loves it. Everybody sings it to the top of the
I'm still living with your ghost. And everyone's like, all right, it's great.
Great.
All right. The story is of him trying to kill himself off the Santa Monica Pier because he's so drugged out that he's actually weighing himself down.
We can live inside the ocean.
That is the story. I mean, great song. It's a jam. You're like, it's a great song. He's so heroin addicted, he's trying to kill himself off the Santa Monica Pier.
And the crazy thing about that band is that most of the stories, most of the success that they've had are songs about his upbringing, his life, because that's what he wrote about.
Yeah, his addiction, his life, his broken home.
Horrible relationship with his father. You know, he talks about in the song "Wonderful." You know, occasionally Dad would send me a birthday card with a $5 bill. That was the relationship.
Yeah,
and how Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam, same kind of thing.
That's the another interesting part about Art Alexakis. Yeah, that's the lead singer. He actually testified in front of Congress years ago when they were having these programs for what do we need to do for after school for children. Because he was like, I'm your example of like, didn't go well for me, but this is what now I'm doing to try and write it for, you know, kids in my neighborhood, in my city.
Can I give you the craziest thing that happened? It's probably been a month ago. Some friends of ours were flying. It had to be a few months ago. So a month ago would have been during the shutdown. So this is a few months back. They get on the airplane. They're flying, I believe, back home from Montana. They had a connection there somewhere. They get on the plane, and sitting in first class is Everclear. They had no idea who they were.
Huh.
They finally heard some whispers, and they looked it up, and they send me a text. They're like, "You won't believe who's sitting," and you know, goofy people. They're trying to take a picture, and I could see Art's arm maybe from the chair.
That's funny.
Yeah, they were like, they're on the plane with us, riding home.
Just 3 guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just 3 guys.
They put their britches on just like you do. Same way you do, one leg at a time. That's the funny. Another cool documentary that's out today, and you were a big part of at least seeing where it started.
Ooh,
is the Thunder and Lightning. The Sony Michel.
With Sony Michel and Nick Chubb.
Yeah, they've been working on a documentary. It's released on YouTube today. If you're a Georgia fan or just like college football, just like them as players, whatever it is, go check it out. It is out today, and I would imagine one of the greatest college football games of all time wouldn't be a huge part of it, and that being the Rose Bowl versus Oklahoma.
I honestly thought, and I remember I had the same conversation with Brian Hoyt, a friend of mine who used to work down the hall. We were both at the game. Now, we were sitting in different sections, but we were both at the game. We tailgated beforehand. We did the whole scene in Vegas the night before together with our wives, and we both had the same reaction. Sony Michel just lost the football game. He fumbles, Oklahoma picks it up, runs it in for a touchdown, and you're like, that might be it. Like, that was the chance. And to see what Georgia did coming back, and really it was a tale of 2 halves. Nick Chubb dominated the first half, and then Sony Michel obviously closes out the game and dominates the second half. So I'll be interested to watch that.
Me too, man.
It's only 20, you know, it's the 2017 season. It's January 2018.
Feels like forever ago.
But it feels so different. I'm like, I was really there like 7 years ago.
It's unbelievable,
really?
man. But one of the greatest college football games ever, as I've said, and I would stand by. I would kill to have been there. I'm very envious that you were. And there are those times when I'll see people put together things about the success that the University of Georgia football programs had over the last several years. And the saddest thing is that they did not win a national championship with that team. It's so sad. Because they are the coolest guys. Both of them went on to have great NFL careers. Nick still has, is still playing
with the Texans, yeah.
And he shows up in our suite occasionally. He
was here for the Braves game a few months back.
Got a connection with, I guess, his agent, and they'll call on, us here at Dickey Broadcasting. Hey, he just wants to kind of slip in, maybe have some buds, watch some, because if you see Nick Chubb walking around the stadium, everybody's going to,
But he's also just kind of known as just kind of a quiet, mild-mannered dude.
And he is so laid back, so mild-mannered. But that's so sad that they have not, that they did not win a national championship. Just two of the best Georgia Bulldogs, DGDs.
There was something I said, and I feel vindicated that it actually worked out. So it was the day after, and obviously Tua Tagovailoa makes the big play to beat Georgia in the national championship game in overtime. I mean, that was over. Like Rodrigo Blankenship had hit the kick to win a national championship, and you're third and forever, and you're about to win a national championship. And it obviously didn't work out. But I said something that next day. I said that will be the least talented Kirby Smart team he's going to have here because of where the recruiting was. And that's proven out. Yes. 2 national championships later, they were ranked 5th in the country. I mean, remember that team largely was a dark horse. Just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Beat me to it. Yep. That's exactly right. It's so cool, though. And now, though, the change with the transfer portal and being an NIL and the money and all that's involved, the depth isn't there like it was. So there are new challenges. And look, obviously Kirby Smart is abreast of those challenges. So is Brent Key down at Georgia Tech. They understand the challenges that they face. They don't have the depth that they used to. I don't know that there's ever a dominant team like there used to be.
I think you recruit differently in the future. Like, I would love, and I think the model is going to be, give me all the 5 stars. Collect all the 4 and 5 stars, because that's how you win. But I do think there is going to be room for that one team that's loaded up with fifth-year seniors and happens to get that quarterback that year in the portal or whatever it is. And so then it turns into the pieces all come together, and now that's one of those teams where did they recruit at a top 5 level all year? No. But maybe it all came together. Or maybe you're SMU and you have a crazy amount of money to bring in everybody else.
Vandy could be
that team that could sneak in the playoff. They still have a shot at that.
The one thing that I think this has done, for all the things that people don't like about the money and don't like about NIL and the transfer portal, I think it's great that you're seeing kids that play at a lower level that weren't recruited by those big schools having big seasons at those smaller schools, and then the big schools coming and saying, hey, why don't you come up here and play? So you see kids that played at the D2 level or wherever. You know,
Virginia's leading rusher, and again, that's going to be Georgia Tech's primary competition. That was a small school guy the year before.
Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss, quarterback at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, your number 1 pick in the draft last year was a forward Division III player.
That's what I'm saying, dude. There's just that I think is really cool. I think that gives kids opportunities that maybe they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Trump is the informant on the Epstein case. Could that be real? Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
We'll add Seattle, Washington to the list of cities going down the tubes. They have a new mayor. Her name is Katie Wilson. She's a community organizer, still lives off of her parents' money. Both parents, by the way, professors. And what is she going to do as mayor of Seattle? City-run grocery stores. Sound familiar? Tax the rich. Sound familiar? College dropout, no surprise. And she says, I'm absolutely fine with being called a socialist. Hope she's fine with being called an idiot, too. But anyway, she has announced that she is going to somehow forbid grocery stores from moving out of the city of Seattle. It can be losing money, but they're not allowed to leave. At least I haven't heard the New York commie say that yet, but I'm sure he will in short order. Not allowed to leave. Does that remind you of anything? How about Berlin? They built a wall. If you tried to leave that workers' paradise, you were shot in the back and killed. So what are the penalties if a grocery store closes down or tries to leave the socialist paradise of Seattle? I want to take you back to earlier this week when I told you about an essayist that explained to us why Gen Zers love socialism so much. It's because they can't get a job. They cry if somebody tells them they have to work 40 hours a week. Seriously. And the reason their job prospects are so miserable is because of capitalism. Therefore, I'm a socialist. So now we have New York and Seattle to watch. It ought to be a real fun game. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
The government's back open, but could it shut down again? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The government's only funded through January 30th.
I don't put anything past Schumer and Jeffries and the Democrats right now, but we're going to try to take that weapon out of their hand.
House Speaker Mike Johnson just told Fox Business they're working to fund the government the proper way by...
Part of the vote Wednesday night was a minibus, a small package of 3 of those appropriations bills that we've now gotten off the table. There's 12 of them in total.
Speaker Johnson also says he's not yet set a vote like the Senate has, and Democrats demand to extend Obamacare tax credit set to expire at year's end, making coverage cost more for millions of Americans.
The Democrats broke the American health care system. The reason your premiums are skyrocketing is because they have terrible policies, and one of them is subsidizing insurance companies.
Democrats blame Republicans for the higher costs. With the government back open, Vice President Vance tells Fox they're focusing on making America more affordable.
We inherited a disaster. We're very mindful of the fact that there's a lot of work to do, but I think that we've made great progress.
The Trump administration is now scaling back some tariffs on imports from several countries, trying to lower prices on things like bananas, coffee, and cocoa. On Wall Street, more selling's looming. Dow futures down almost 400 points the morning after plunging nearly 800 amid uncertainty about the economy and future interest rate cuts. Now that the government is back open,
staffing levels at air traffic control facilities quickly bounced back and almost immediately returned to normal yesterday. That's what the FAA is going to continue monitoring before it allows the airlines to return to their regular flight operations.
Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble at Reagan National Airport near D.C. Those reductions canceled another 600 plus flights today. There are more than 500 delays, but not because of staffing shortages anymore. Less than a year after wildfires burned down thousands of homes around Los Angeles. A new potential disaster this weekend in those charred areas. Heavy rain the next few days, up to 5-6 inches, could trigger landslides and flash flooding, leading to evacuation warnings in hardest hit areas like Palisades and Altadena. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF, and see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
It took 100 years, but finally there's a conservative voice you can trust. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Did y'all see, since you're playing Black Sabbath, and I'm sure you did, but I just think it's cool.
It was cool. I know where you're going.
What Donald Trump did.
Yeah, left a message for the family.
And it was very brief, and it just said, so Ozzy had passed. Trump reaches out on a phone call to Sharon and Jack and Kelly and leaves a very nice message about Ozzy's one of a kind. He's just nobody's going to be like him, and he's sorely missed. If there's anything we can do for you, we're here for you.
Yeah, a quick 15 seconds of just want to acknowledge this and say, if you need anything, give me a call.
And I think Sharon and Ozzy may have had some sort of relationship with Trump. I don't know, professional, business, I don't know what it was. But Kelly's been very anti-Trump, at times anyway. And I think Jack kind of goes a little bit, sometimes he's Team Trump, sometimes he doesn't agree with what Trump's doing, whatever it is. But all of them, every time that this has come up, and it has a few times, have said, he's been nothing but nice to us.
So you're telling me that a family that might have a difference of political opinion actually puts that aside and acknowledges who the person is,
It's very unique these days.
Weird.
It's very unique these days.
In the same way that I look at my liberal friends, I'm like, our politics don't agree. Let's go have a beer. I still like you. We have a good time. Let's go chat about whatever.
We talk about that all the time. And I think that's a difference in conservatives and liberals. I don't know that all liberals, some do, but all liberals, lots of them don't, have that same mentality. We had some acquaintances that advertised with the station that were leaving earlier. We know their politics are not the same as ours, but we still get along great.
And we were making faces at one another like, hey, how you doing on a Friday?
Yeah, playing peekaboo through the window.
I mean, one of my, and she knows this, one of my life goals when I'm not working at 9:30 in the morning when they're leaving is let's go grab some shots.
Yeah. They're fun. They're fun people to be
because
around.
I've heard the stories that she's told me about, this is what happened at the company party. And I'm like, I want to go to y'all's company party.
Holy cow. And she probably pays for the company party.
And again, we couldn't be different politically, but we're high-fiving over this stuff.
Get along great.
Doesn't matter to me.
It's the difference. It's the difference in conservatives and liberals. And I'm not saying all liberals. I'm not saying that.
Can you leave it at the door?
But a big portion can't. A big portion can't, dude.
You would think, and I hope this doesn't hurt our standing with the audience, but I don't believe it does because I believe you probably look at the world in a similar way we do. There's a time to put my helmet on, and then there's a time I put the helmet on the ground.
Yeah.
And for the most part, when we're done at 10 o'clock, helmet off to the side. I'll pick it back up 5:30 on Monday.
I'll give you an example. You've probably heard Jesse Jackson has been hospitalized. I couldn't disagree on most everything, 99% of things in opposition of what Jesse Jackson believes. But my prayer is that he heals up. He gets better. I couldn't imagine being a person that said, man, I hope he dies. Like they did for John Fetterman, who admitted it. The Democrats come at me all the time and wish death on me.
I mean, I can look at Jesse Jackson, and if I'm laying it all out there, I would say I think he's one of the original race baiters.
Without a doubt.
How does the Rainbow Coalition make the money that they do? Well, they would come over to your company and say, well, it seems we've got a problem here.
Shake you down.
But we know how to make this problem go away.
Give us a Toyota dealership.
You don't want to have us talking about some of your racial policies, do you? And that's how it would work. Do I think that he deserves to be in bad health? No.
I would never, man.
Those are two separate items.
I agree with you completely. 100%. But that's not the way many, not all, many on the other side do not share that value.
Now, some people do deserve bad health, okay? Like, I tell you, terrorists, cancer and terrorists, the two things I hate. Like, if every terrorist got cancer, I'd be like, that's too bad.
Sorry about you.
All right? But again, these are extreme cases.
Yeah, right. This is the extreme.
You know, you're somebody who hurts children. Sorry, you got Ebola.
I hate you got that goiter.
Yeah, it's too bad.
That thing's large.
Not saying that this is uniform, but I am saying that for about 99% of the world, I'm like, I don't want you to see you in bad health. That's not good.
Absolutely not. I don't wish anything bad on Joe Biden.
Your mass shooter?
Yeah.
I'm sorry you got the flesh-eating disease.
Yeah. It's funny because Tim Burchett's a little bit like that too, and we've laughed about that a few times in the fact that he calls AOC in my friendly neighborhood Marxist.
Can we please call him by his proper name? Tim Burchett, my UAP friend.
Yeah, that's right. Get that tag.
I've yet to have him on the show.
Maybe one day soon.
I will ask.
Angel Face too.
Angel Face. I have tried for Angel Face. Now there's going to be another time probably after the new year where I think this might end up working out.
That'd be awesome.
But then we're going to have to tell her we call her Angel Face.
I think we should leave that out. Maybe.
It's like, is it a problem that we call you Angel Face as a nickname on our show?
And we're talking about
Anna Paulina Luna.
Anna Paulina Luna, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call Lindsey Graham Lady Graham on the show either. Hey, guys. What are we going to bomb today?
Yeah. I'd be quicker to slip that one in if I could.
We're here with Lady Graham.
Yeah. Because he would be like, what is it? And then you just keep rolling across.
But I would tell Tim Burchett that I refer to him as Tim Burchett, my UAP friend.
I think it's interesting the relationship they have
with AOC. That apparently that they are They have
like fist bump buddies in the hall.
Well, okay, so where that comes from is on the UAP stuff.
Yeah.
And it starts with the amount of dollars that are being thrown down a black hole that they both believe are going into the development of this technology through some of their military assets. Like some of the companies, for instance, if they're working with Skunk Works and they're sending them billions of dollars, well, they don't know what it's going to, and Congress has oversight. So people like Burchett and AOC are working together on this. So I want you to listen, though, how when Burchett was asked about what's going to happen to Chuck Schumer, and as he talked about it, the day before, hey, there's a giant meteor coming. It's called Trump Care. It's going to kill Schumer. This is now what he's also saying about what's going to happen to Schumer politically.
And AOC, I think, will take him on. I think I talked to her tonight, and she'll announce tomorrow. If she announced tomorrow, she'd raise $10 million over the weekend. They'd be throwing money at her as fast as it'd be record amounts because people are sick of Chuck Schumer and sick of him.
When you talked to her tonight you talked about running, what did she say?
She smiled and said, "Thank you, Burchett." I mean, she's my friendly neighborhood Marxist. I realize she's just about as far left as I am right, but she actually believes that garbage.
I love her.
She actually believes that garbage.
I love her. I'm friends with her. She just happens to be dumb when it comes to politics. She believes that stupid stuff.
Because they've worked together on that committee. It is the only committee in all of Congress that is actually working together on both sides of the aisle. Is the UAP stuff.
So strange, though.
That's why I tell you, get on board with this.
No,
Come on, Tug. You're busy telling me about thunder and lightning, and once you watch this documentary about Sony Michel and Nick Chubb, and I'm like, brother, we got 3i Atlas on the way. What are you doing?
I'm in the final stages of living life.
Your
as
wood
normal.
is wet.
Yeah, because it ain't lighting my fire. That's right. But I gave you the example this morning because it reminds me of this a little bit. Their relationship reminds me of this. If I invited a Satanist to church and he was like, man, everybody in here is fine. I think you're crazy because you follow Jesus and things like that. But here's the thing. I would love to burn your church down. And that's their relationship because they have such a cordial relationship. She hates the United States. She wants to burn it down. That seems like it would be a tough relationship to maintain. I don't think I could do it.
I think the way that I told you this maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, I said, what if you got home, Tug, and your wife just kept looking at the curtains and being like, I think we got to light them.
Just set them on fire.
You're like no, we don't.
Yeah.
And then the next time you got home, like she's playing with like matches and she's right next to the curtains and you're like hey, babe, put those away.
No, what are you doing?
And then you get home again and you see her and she's got now she's got a lighter and some gasoline and she just keeps looking at the curtains. She wants to burn your house down.
Yes.
And you're just trying to play hey, defense here.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It's like
at some point she's going to win.
She's going to burn your house down.
Exactly.
She's going to try.
And that's exactly what I say about AOC and Burchett because that's what she wants to do.
These people seem nice, but I still want to burn your church down.
That's right. It's the truth. I mean, I think y'all are crazy for following Jesus. Me and him don't get along at all. But I'm going to burn this church down. I mean, y'all are good. I'll even tell you ahead of time so you can get out. But this thing's coming down. That's what she wants to do to America. I don't think I could have that. I don't think I could maintain that relationship. Our friends who are liberal that just left a little bit ago got no problems. They just see things differently. They vote differently. And I don't know that they truly want to destroy America. I think they're going about being American the wrong way. Their policies never work. I think all that. But I don't think their intent is to destroy America. AOC's damn intent is to destroy America.
I think Burchett looks at this in probably a similar vein as I do. I don't believe they're at the point of critical mass in that in the halls of Congress, in the areas of power, the real Marxists don't have influence yet. Like we saw what's going on in New York where Kathy Hochul's just petting Mom Donnie on the head.
See,
that's great, Zoran. Good luck. That's not going to happen.
Because we've had this discussion because I'm nervous about it.
But
you know how I feel. I'm scared about this.
But that's the idea of critical mass. I think Burchett's my friendly neighborhood Marxist.
Yeah.
Because she really believes that stuff. Because I'm sure he talks with other Democrats and she's crazy.
Yeah.
They all know.
Yeah.
They all, we talked about this with Buddy Carter. Buddy's like, what the discussions are in the gym are completely different than what you see on TV.
Yes, that's right.
It's like, they have to look at it like that. But what happens when you get more of them?
That's the fear.
That's the fear of critical mass, is when they get all together.
And we're seeing that, if I can make a little bit of a comparison, with some of the Islamists. We're seeing that. It is hitting mass.
Much, and that, I think that's such this is part of our own frailty, our own weakness, that we are much quicker to attack the communists, as we should, but the Islamists, we live alone.
And I can't figure that out, dude.
But they have the same goals. It's different, but they have the same goals.
Right, and they will work with the communists. Now, later they'll be fighting because they don't see eye to eye on anything.
They are not, but they have the same enemy.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend, right?
For the time being, until what it turns into. But that's the thing. It's like we look at it as we don't have such a thing as communistophobia. We have Islamophobia.
Yeah, that's right.
We've turned that into something that we're not allowed to discuss, or that we're not allowed to point out the very poor logic of it at times, and how it doesn't cope or it doesn't coexist with Western values at all.
Yeah. And it's so funny because Ben Burnett, who is a country club Republican, loves that, and I love Ben to death. We just, on a lot of things, we see things very differently.
Bemby.
That's right.
You have to just say Bemby, and that takes care of everything, the nice things you want to say about Ben.
Yeah, and
then you go from there. Bemby.
The last time he sat in, when you were gone on a volleyball trip, I believe, he brought it up, and he is so conservative when it comes to the Islamist. He is not playing.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes us look like moderates when it comes to the Islamist worry and concern and that whole.
Well, when you've seen it up close, I think we are always going to be a little bit removed from it. When you see it up close, you will then realize there is no mixing of these. There's no, hey, we'll coexist together. The strength of their entire movement is that they're trying to play you in the interest of taking all of your power in your country away.
And they will tell you.
Yes, they will tell you.
They're doing.
They're playing you.
Not afraid to tell you.
And then the other part, and this is what's going on in Europe. And again, you guys, is Islamophobia? No, this is just the numbers. They're breeding you out. They're making sure that they got 5 to your 1 every generation.
It's a full court press.
Yep.
It's exactly what it is. So when Ben was in, I was so surprised when he said the things he did. Not because they're outlandish. I just didn't expect them from him. And let me tell you, he was laying it all on the line, and everything he said was correct.
Then Ben went wild from there and started getting into how the WNBA is the best league in the world.
No, he would never say that. That's one thing I don't think he would.
He started talking about how Marge's shot was just misunderstood. Yeah. Ben got wild at that point.
But let me tell you, that Islamist concern is on his radar. On his radar. It was.
Did he show you his collection of Hitler Youth knives?
No, he didn't.
Trying to think of all the weird things that would never happen to Ben that he would bring up.
I know, but yeah, it was. Were you here, Dre, for it? When Ben? I can't remember. I guess it was.
Sorry, I was just on the phone with the caller.
Oh, sorry. I think both of y'all were out that month. I think it was a Monday. But
he covered for me twice. But I'm trying to remember what was it volleyball?
I think it was volleyball.
Something, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was volleyball.
I think it was the last trip that we had at some point in June. Then
yeah. And I mean, he just came out of swinging, and I was like, well, look at you.
One of our callers who doesn't want to be named, but we know he usually calls in this hour and doesn't sit on the same side of the aisle as we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
He also shares the concerns about the Islamists.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know exactly who you're talking about, and we appreciate you listening as always.
As again, we agree on about 80% of stuff.
So much so that he didn't want to.
Yeah, no, I get it.
No, I get it.
I
get you. It is. There's a reason why there's no such thing as communistophobia. But there is Islamophobia. They have a name for it so as to get you to stop.
That's right.
So as to get you to not have the conversation. That's all.
That's right.
They do not want you, and that is the proper cultured folks does not want you to have a discussion of can Islam and Western ideals and existence coexist, and they can't.
They can't.
They just cannot.
They're in stark opposition.
The very nature by which we have taught young men, especially young men these days, to value and to look at women goes completely against anything that goes on from one of those countries. I mean, I was reading an interesting article. So you now have female drivers that are starting to proliferate in the Middle East. Most notably, like in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia specifically.
They're just now letting them drive there.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the funny parts is how even in well-to-do families, think about how this sounds like your 16-year-old daughter. So my daughter's 14, going on 15 next month. She'll be 16 before I know it. They're buying adult women cars they know they can bang up.
Oh, so it didn't matter? When it comes home, they pay. It's like for here, like a couple $1,000s versus a $20,000 car.
So because
they know it's going to get beat up.
If the man of the house is driving a $300,000 car,
and in Riyadh they probably are,
and they are, she's got something that's a total beater because she can't park it, she can't drive it, and she's banging it around.
And it's so funny you bring up because it's such an opposite way of the way we think. Like, I want my wife's car to be nicer than my car. You just got your wife a beautiful car.
I will make it a point that I do not want to have a scenario where my 16-year-old has a car where I'd go, oh my God, she just wrecked it. This is like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, right. Makes a lot of sense, man. We appreciate you listening. It's the Extra 106.3 Tug and Los until 10. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors. If you know someone who needs new siding on their home but just can't get it done, go to southernexteriors.co. They've teamed up with James Hardy Siding, the best in the business, and they are going to re-side someone's home. This thing could cost up to $30,000 depending on the size of the house. And they're going to take care of that cost for you for Christmas. southernexteriors.co, top left corner, red button, Christmas giveaway. But you've got to get it done by December 1st. December 1st. December 1st. Los told me yesterday, I got to say it 3 times. So I did. When we come back, Stephen A. Smith dismantles the Epstein strategy that the Democrats are using.
Get connected to Extra 106.3 on all your favorite apps. Then download ours and stream the station across Georgia. We're live online at extra1063.com. Stream live video from the studios on YouTube. And of course, Kimmer, Bortz, and your favorite Extra shows in crystal clear digital on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, it's Los. I got to ask you a question. It's a true prep question. Are you ready? Are you prepared? That's an important question, and that is one of the questions that can be answered when you go over to True Prep. First off, 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta, or go online, trueprep.com. That's truprep.com. Doesn't matter what you're trying to get ready for. True Prep has the equipment, they have the know-how, they have the information, they have the knowledge, they have the staff that can help you. Whether you're an outdoorsman, an outdoors woman, maybe you're an avid hunter, maybe you're also want to make sure that when it comes to the defense of your home and yourself, that you're prepared for anything that could happen. They got you covered. And right now, you can take a look at what they have. Their in-store specials. They have the Glock 19 Gen 4 and the Glock 19X. Both are in stock. I just went ahead and checked. As of this morning, both still in stock. So you got an opportunity for the next couple of days to get on over to True Prep to take advantage of those deals. Also, the Radical Firearms AR-15, $399.99. And of course, as you know, lowest prices, some of the best prices on ammo that you're going to find in all of Atlanta. Check them out. True Prep on Cobb Parkway. Again, 1000 Cobb Parkway. Or go online to truprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
I don't serve for the recognition. I serve the flag. The red, white, and blue, that means everything to me. And when I fly it, I know it stands for something real. My name is Megan Terry, and I serve in the U.S. Army, which is why I choose Collins flags. Because every Collins American and military flag is made here in the USA, stitched with pride and built to last. And they support veterans like me because they know what these flags really mean. So if you love our service members and our country like I do, fly a flag that honors them and supports American jobs. Visit collinsflags.com today. American made, proudly waved.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
It's November 14th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Seatbelt Day. The modern seatbelt was created by Swedish automaker Volvo in 1959. Since then, studies have shown that wearing a seatbelt saves lives and prevents serious injuries when involved in car accidents. Today is meant to reinforce the need for everyone to wear seatbelts, no matter where anyone is sitting inside of a car. Also on this date, in 1851, the classic novel Moby Dick by author Herman Melville is published. In 1960, the Ray Charles song Georgia on My Mind reaches number 1 on the charts. And in 2018, a large pear-shaped pearl pendant, which belonged to Marie Antoinette, sold at auction for $32 million. The pendant had not been seen in public for roughly 200 years until it was put up for sale. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Today is Friday, November 14th. 2 Atlanta-based companies made the top 10 on Forbes' Most Trusted Companies list. Chick-fil-A and Delta Airlines both scored high marks for trust among employees, customers, and investors. The list ranked companies with over 1,000 employees based on financial performance, customer and employee ratings, media reputation, and employee longevity. Microsoft announced the launch of its Fairwater 2 data center in Atlanta. The company calls it the world's first AI super factory. The site is directly connected to another dedicated Microsoft data center in Wisconsin focused solely on AI. Some residents have expressed concern over the rise of data centers in Georgia. Microsoft is pointing to sustainable efficiencies in its design. And the university system in Georgia has set an all-time enrollment record again. Over 382,000 students are enrolled in 26 public colleges or universities this fall in Georgia, almost 5% higher than fall of last year. This is the 3rd year in a row enrollment has a record-breaking growth. Today's weather sunny with highs in the mid-70s, and we've got a beautiful weekend on the way. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Gosh, it's such a great Friday, and the show's gone so well, and we appreciate everybody that's called in. And I know Jerry's been talking to a lot of listeners this morning, a lot of interaction on social media at Extra 106.3, at Front Office Los, at Whiskey Click. You can find me at Tug Cowart. So, isn't it funny? One of our callers in that last segment, who typically disagrees with us on, a variety of things, but I appreciate the fact that he listens and engages with the show the way he does. Means a lot to me. Called in when we were talking about the Islamists, was like, dude, that worries me. That makes me nervous. Think about it. We're far apart on a lot of issues, but that one we come together on. Even in our own party, Ben Burnett, we talked about, we differ on several things. Love Ben, just we differ on things. He comes together on that one. I think that's the one topic that everybody recognizes is a major issue. I don't know why it's that topic, Los, but that's the topic. That's the issue that really galvanizes people together.
I think if there was a moment that really pointed it out, it was last week or the week before. I believe they were in London and they had their march, and you had people that were on the left there who showed up to just kind of support, stand by the march. And as the marchers are yelling at the people on the street, the ones that stopped there to support them, they're like, hey, we're on the left, we're with you guys. And they're like, no, you're not.
Get out of here.
They're like,
well, no part of it.
It's like, we have different views here.
And we
get out of here.
And the thing is, because they've made so much progress, unfortunately, have made so much progress across Europe, that they don't need the left over there. So they, like right now in the United States, they're still partnering with the left on some things. They're still, they still show up in some of the same places. Over there, they don't. They're past to the point. They what do you say, hit critical mass a little bit, and now they're like, no, y'all go too. Y'all go too.
That element of critical mass, that's something that Neil brings up, and I've brought up in the past, and what it applies to is that when you reach a point where there are enough of people in a community, most notably when it comes to Islam, that's when they start saying, now we're going to make the rules.
Mm-hmm. And you're seeing it up in Dearborn. Was the mayor threw a born and raised resident of Dearborn, Michigan, out of a city council meeting because he came in and rejected or had a problem with them I feel like it was naming a street after a suicide bomber. And he was like, oh, wait. We can't do that. And he was like, sir, you get out of here.
Yeah, because we're going to honor who we choose to honor.
We're in charge now.
Because, again, if it's 1, okay, no big deal. If it's 10, still no big deal. 100, not a big deal. 10,000, you got a problem.
Things are changing.
You got a problem.
Things are changing. That's exactly right.
Because
I find it interesting.
Because culturally, they're instructed to take over your culture.
That's what the Quran says.
That is what the religion tells them to do.
Yeah.
So I have a faithful Muslim. Okay, cool.
Good,
there's one living next to me. Yep. Great, no big deal. What happens when there's 10,000? They ain't really interested in what I believe at that point.
Things have shifted.
So I'm glad the left sees this problem as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not Islamophobic to talk about it.
No, I think it's common sense. Back to common sense. And you have to have some. I'm not sure that the Democrats, at least in this case, have a lot of common sense because they shot themselves in the foot so greatly with this new Epstein drop. It's like, what? Like all the things that it uncovered. We talked about the fact that Epstein hated Donald Trump. The email said it. The New York Times reporters helping Epstein. One of them been fired. I don't know where Michael Wolff is these days. I don't know if he's employed. I'll figure it out and find out. But he was advising Epstein. Stephen A. Smith, he just he laid the boom on him.
But here's the important reason why. There is nothing that Stephen A. Smith is going to say that you don't already know. There is no new information. There is nothing he's going to say where you go, oh, that's poignant. He's not for you. It's not for me either. He's for the person that doesn't pay attention. He's for the sports person that is starting to dabble in politics.
And remember, he's not a Republican. He's not a conservative.
No, he's doing his brand, his broadcast brand, which is, gets animated, and starts pointing it out. That's part of what he does. It's acting. It's fine. But again, he is not doing it for you or me or Tug or Jerry. This is for the person who is just going like, wait a minute, I didn't know about this. I wasn't aware that the Democrats were lying on this. So when you hear this, don't think this is not for you. You're in the 1%. This is the important part of the people that are just now getting to politics. Maybe they've hit that age where now they're in their 40s, now they're in their 30s, and they're like, what is going on here? Maybe I should start kind of looking around a little bit. That's who Stephen A. Smith is talking to. So as you listen to this, remember,
we've talked about it 1,000
times. He's trying to reach Norm and Norma. He's trying to basically point this out. If you come to me for basketball, now I'm going to talk some politics, and here's what I'm pointing out to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration. You were there for 4 years. How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then? What am I missing? I'm not saying I know. It's a legitimate question. Maybe I don't remember the answer. Maybe my extraordinary producers should be able to help me during the commercial break. But from my understanding, the same files that were open or being open now with the 220 pages of documents or whatever it is, with various emails, that could have been done when Biden was in office. Well, why didn't you do it? If it's so important now. What were the Democrats doing at that particular moment in time? See, this is the kind of stuff that smells. Because my attitude is just deducing how much they despise Trump is if there was some real bona fide dirt on him, since you went after him with the 34 felony convictions, which essentially was deduced to him paying hush money to Stormy Daniels, a porn star, just so she wouldn't reveal their happenings with one another. leading up to the election in 2016. Okay? If you had something like that you were willing to parade him through the streets with, of course, if you had something on him about Epstein, you'd have let it go earlier to make sure he didn't become the 47th president. That's just my thinking from a logical perspective. But what do I know?
That's not for Tug. It's not for me. It's not even for you. That is for that person that is just now getting into politics that needs to hear, very simply, here's what's happening.
Or maybe our liberal friends that are listening to this show right now.
Here's a logical from somebody who is not like the helmet on every day for politics, and yet he sees what this story is. That's who that's for. That's why it was so important. That's why when Stephen A. Smith got into it, I wasn't sitting back going like, what am I going to learn about this? I'm like, listen, I've already said it 200 times before he said it once. But he has a different audience than I do. And it's important that the audience that is just now getting into politics actually gets this story presented correctly to them.
So important. It is so important. You probably listening to it go, I already knew that.
I knew that.
I talk about that all the time. But for the people who don't, another thing you might not know, we talked about this a little through the show, Michael Wolff. He's a journalist who coached Jeffrey Epstein how to gain leverage. Democrats really like leverage. They've used that word a lot lately. With the government shutdown and all, that's the only thing we got. It's leverage we have. He was like, Trump, he may be the person. Epstein and I, as a guy that advised him, thinks Trump is the person that tipped off the authorities about Epstein's exploits. Listen to this.
At that point, Epstein's legal problems began. The police began to investigate him over allegations that he was that there were underage women coming to his house. Epstein believed that it was Trump who first informed the police about what was going on at Epstein's house. And from that point on, they were nothing but bitter enemies.
And this is what he's telling you. This is one of the instances of what he's telling you.
Yes.
A hoax yesterday. What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times. It comes across as calling the whole thing a hoax. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant.
Stop it there. He was an FBI informant. Mike Johnson said it. So you had Michael Wolff, who was coaching Epstein. They were working together. Epstein already thought that Donald Trump was the person that tipped him off to the police. Then Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, takes it a step further and says he was an FBI informant. He's the reason they were on his case. Go back to the emails that were released. What did they say? What did they show us? That Epstein hated Donald Trump for that exact reason.
Before the shutdown, Mike Johnson said the same thing. When he was asked about it, he's like, Donald Trump was an FBI informant. This is not new.
Yeah.
He flat out told you he's the informant. He's the one who was making this thing go.
And now the person that advised Epstein is saying the exact same thing. I don't know if he feels free to admit it now. I don't know why he's come around, but he knows, and he is backing up a guy that they probably don't see eye to eye politically at all in Michael Wolff, writer for the New York Times, advising Epstein, and the Speaker of the House, Republican Christian Mike Johnson.
I think this is the part of this job where you and I have those, as I like to joke around about it, giant eye roll, because I'm going to hear somebody, whether it's on the news or somebody who's playing the game or some version of Aunt Peg who's going to tell me all about Donald Trump and the New York Times and him being in the Epstein files. At some point that's going to happen, and I'm going to be like, how can we be several days ahead of you and months ahead of you in that when we saw these things came out, we said, wait a minute, that's the same thing they did 6 months ago. They just redacted a name. And then to know the whole history that Donald Trump was the primary person who was squealing and talking to investigators. I mean, if you want to talk about it, he's the rat. He's the one who was like, there's something weird going on with this guy.
Absolutely. I'm kicking him out of my club.
Like something weird going on with this guy.
And when that comes up, and it will again, is they'll say Trump knew about the girls. Of course he did.
He'll be the angle. He'll be like, yeah, he was pilfering. He talked about this like last January, February. He was like, he was pilfering my work staff.
Specifically the young girls.
Yes. He was like, there's
specifically.
He's like, he's pilfering our work staff. That's the reason why he was like, he's not allowed here anymore.
And so when they say, well, he knew about the girls, yes, he did, and then tipped the police off because of it. That's what the person from the New York Times that was helping Epstein has said. And then you even heard Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, tell you to. You got it from two sources. It's over and over again. Their strategy has failed. Their strategy has backfired because they're full of hate. They don't care about the people that were taken advantage of. They care about the political points that it might score if they could just get something on Trump. When we continue on Extra 106.3, 100 Brits versus 100 Americans. Who wins? We'll end the show on a smile. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, November 14th. The college football weekend features both locals in action. Let's start with 16th ranked Georgia Tech. They're on the road taking on a 1-9 Boston college football team. That's going to be a 3:30 kickoff tomorrow. You can hear that game on our sister station and their app, 680 The Fan. As for 5th ranked Georgia, they have a top 10 matchup Saturday night in Athens. They host the Texas Longhorns. That kickoff is set for 7:30. The Atlanta Hawks, they've won 4 straight after closing out a back-to-back with a win against the Utah Jazz, 132-122. As for Jalen Johnson, he posts a triple-double, 31 points, 18 rebounds, and 14 assists. The Hawks close out the West Coast road trip Sunday in Phoenix. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Hey, it's Tug for Southern Exteriors. In this Christmas holiday season, they want to help a neighbor in need, giving away a new remodel, a siding with James Hardy Siding, the best in the business. Last year, they gave away a brand new roof. It was so sweet. It's exactly what you hope you would see in the holiday season. Those Christmas wishes granted, those Christmas dreams answered. It's taken care of by Southern Exteriors and James Hardy Siding. No gimmicks, no fine print, just top quality siding installed by the pros that you've trusted for over 25 years here in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, and across the Southeast. That's Southern Exteriors. You don't have to enter for yourself. You can nominate somebody, a friend, a family, somebody you go to church with, somebody you work with, a neighbor, truly in need of a brand new upgrade, that James Hardy Siding. It's free to enter, no purchase required. Share their story or your own, and you could help set someone's Christmas holiday in motion. Help them unwrap their dreams right in front of their eyes. Hurry up, though. You got to get it done by December 1st. December 1st, December 1st, December 1st. That is the deadline. SouthernExteriors.co, SouthernExteriors.co, SouthernExteriors.co.
Big moments deserve big-time craftsmanship. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we've been family-owned and operated since 1982 because we know what it means to show up when it counts. Jaron Solomon here, and that's why we're proud to be an official Tacori jeweler. Each Tacori ring is handcrafted in California, going through 20 elite artisans before it hits your hands. Not mass-produced, not generic, always personal. And with Solomon Brothers, you get lifetime cleanings, unbeatable financing, and the largest Tacori selection in Georgia. Stop by a store in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg. Visit SolomonBrothers.com to book your private appointment. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, where love is in the details and legends are built to last. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs and official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Did you know that there are over 34,000 lawyers in the state of Georgia? Yet despite that huge number, Bruce Hagen was recently named by his peers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state. Do you know who is not among the top 100 lawyers in the state? Some clown standing on top of an 18-wheeler. Those kind of lawyers may make flashy ads, but they're just marketers, not real lawyers. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need Bruce Hagen, a real lawyer who tries cases and wins. Call Bruce Hagen. He's the real deal for your injury case. Hagen-law.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer talking about Stovall.
Yeah, I just wanted to brag on Stovall. I went up there and actually got a quote on some of their material up there, and he gave me the quotes I wanted, but he said what would work best, they don't carry, and referred me to one of their competitors. That's how good they are. And sure enough, he was right. The material he was talking about that they don't carry, it's actually going to work best for me. So I've got that on the way. It all worked out well. Makes me want to go back and buy something from them now.
Folks, when it comes to landscaping supplies, start at Stovall. 11 locations around Atlanta. Online at StovallInc.com.
Oh no, what is that sound?
It's our rejection detection system. It's showing that several men across Georgia are being denied intimacy by their partners due to ED.
How can this be?
Well, it's more common than you think. As men age, their bodies change. And unfortunately, once they get over 50, some things don't work like they used to.
So what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. We need to get them to Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He can fix ED problems.
But how?
At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, they are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimex to create an erection and more.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? Guys, it won't get better on its own. When it's not hard, it's really hard. But I can help you today. Call us at Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911 or learn more about us online at tbtofga.com.
Political violence cannot stand. And Extra 106.3 will continue on as the conservative voice of reason in Atlanta. We'll speak our mind, protect our values, and stand up for each other responsibly. Count on the Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer, and the legend Neil Bortz to always have your back. Proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. All right, Dan. We've been watching all morning long. We've been watching Sling Blade clips and cuts. I reckon. It's such a dark movie overall, but it has a
30 years ago, and we're still like having fun with it because of this week.
It has such a sweet. Well, the reason being is that we talked about this earlier. That Billy Bob Thornton was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and Lo sent it over to me, and I watched probably at least half of it now.
And I liked him before.
Yeah, me too.
I also thought because of how much pub he got about 20 years ago when he was married, dating Angelina Jolie, all that stuff. I remember thinking, because they were always in the news about how weird they were. I thought, man, Billy Bob Thornton's weird. Like, that's kind of a bummer. You know, oh, he's afraid of antiques. You know, well, that's weird. But then when he did the podcast, he laid out all the BS stuff.
Yeah, that
and
was
he
made
talked
up.
about how much stuff gets made up about you so that somebody gets to write. And I was like, man, the more I listen to this guy, the more I'm like, I liked him before.
Yeah,
I
sure.
like him a lot more now.
Same here. I've seen and heard and even been told by country artists before that happens to them. He's like, they would try to combat it, right? That's not what I said. I didn't say that. It's either taken out of context, completely made up, whatever it is. Now it's so hard because it comes from so many directions, they don't even try anymore.
Yeah.
They're just like, if you believe that about me, then you must not know me well.
It just becomes kind of urban legend, and you just kind of roll with it. That, hey, Jennifer Aniston hates puppies. Well, somebody wrote about it. She might love puppies.
Yeah.
But somebody now has it out there, and it becomes part of the zeitgeist. And at a certain point, as Billy Bob Thornton was saying, he was like, it ain't worth fighting. You just let it go and move on to the next thing.
And you're not going to win because social media is such a snowball.
Yeah.
And it like when we talk about the good thing that happens, Democrats drop a story, the email thing, and then within 30 seconds, it's already in front of you. This is BS. These are the same files that have been dropped 6 months ago. Bull crap. It's all bull crap. Like, that is how quick that things, can be dispersed. That's when it's good. But like Billy Bob's saying, and that's country artists are saying, sometimes it becomes so big that you can't even answer everything. You can't wave your hands and say, none of this is true, because it's almost impossible to keep up because the algorithm takes over and just snowballs it out of control.
It takes off on you. You're like,
That's exactly right. If I were to be asked the British versus Americans, I feel like this has already been asked and answered.
Haven't we already solved this one before?
I thought so.
So I enjoyed this yesterday, and I also invited her on the show, but I don't know. So redheaded libertarian, because she has her thing with the Timcast. So I don't know if they've got any exclusivity there. Mm-hmm. I know she does her own thing, but I was like, hey, I thought this was really funny. Love to have you on the show sometime. If you don't know, she is, when it comes to knowledge of the Revolutionary era, she's very deep, very good.
Encyclopedic.
It's the history end of it, all the stuff that went on with the founding of the country. Josie, redheaded libertarian, just really good at it. And she's also funny, in my opinion, with some of the stuff she posts. Like every year when she does her July 4th stuff, why do we have a marathon on July 4th? These colors don't run.
That's right. I love it.
How do you take your tea in the harbor?
Yeah, that's right.
It's all the July 4th jokes. She does them all.
That, and she's easy on the eyes.
Yes, that too. So she had, of all people, the 100 Britons versus 100 Americans, no weapons. Who wins? That was the discussion point that was like around on TikTok.
That's the scenario.
That's the scenario. 100 Britons versus 100 Americans. Who wins in a fight? No weapons. Well, if you're going to go to anybody, who would you ask? You would ask Josie, redheaded libertarian, who has this knowledge.
Have you all seen this?
100 British people versus 100 Americans. One big room, no weapons. Who's winning?
Now, as you know, America already beat Britain twice. Once on October 19, 1781, when all their grandpas surrendered at Yorktown, and the second time when John Quincy Adams negotiated the Treaty of Ghent, ending the War of 1812 and the British impressment of American sailors. Oh yes, without weapons this time, as if Uncle Swamp Fox and his ragtag band of colonial misfits were not hiding in the woods using guerrilla warfare mind tricks on the Red Coast the first time. Got it. But I do. Y'all let your government disarm you, and now you gotta level the playing field in this hypothetical. I'll work with that. Now, I realize that we have the entirety of American football on our side, and I realize we have an American Pope, which means we have Jesus on our side.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't take 100 men. It would take 9. That's 3 rednecks, 2 Appalachian mountain men, a couple of brothers from the south side of Chicago, 1 rodeo cowboy, and 1 Florida man. Have you met Florida man?
Let's go.
Have you seen what Florida man can do without a single weapon? We're a different species here. We're several different species here. We are a plethora of different species, and all of them are crazy.
Crazy.
I love it.
So you may be proper. You may be trained in hand-to-hand combat. We're trained in gator. These people boop gators on the noses. That's right. These people make meth in their kitchens. These are the people who, when the government took their whiskey away, brewed it in their bathtub.
I love it.
She lays out all the things that are decidedly American amongst the only we would need 9.
Yeah, that's right.
And as she puts it together, she's like, if I got 3 rednecks and I need 1 Florida man. She's like, I need 2 brothers on the south side, 3 rednecks, 1 rodeo cowboy, and 1 Florida man.
That's right. That's a team there.
She's like, and you don't have a chance.
And and it's funny because it goes along the lines of
1 rodeo cowboy. It's so funny.
It goes along the lines of European minds trying to understand like college football. You've seen those on social media. It kind of goes along the lines of that. Makes me laugh every time I see it. There's no way the European mind can understand what happens at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee.
In Florida man, as she's going through it,
or in the swamp.
There's a guy who's holding up a gator that he went ahead and is like harvesting by hand.
I know. Yeah. And then there's the ones I've seen a dozen times. The big old 6-foot gator comes out of the swamp down there in Florida, and this dude's got like a full turkey, and he taps it on the nose, and then pets it as it's chewing up.
Yeah, it's turkey.
Which golfer was it a few years ago that there was one sitting there and one golfer walked up on it and screamed and jumped out of his shoes, and then the other one just kind of gave him a little pat on the butt,
and it took off in the water.
Take off, just kind of gave it.
I remember that. I don't remember who it was.
You know what he told it? Get the Because that is how you know. If you know get the, then that is the phrase that all animals understand that it's time for you to leave.
Get on out of here.
Get the.
Yeah. Get on out of here. I love it, dude. That's awesome. She's incredible. She's so much fun.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I need 9. I need 9. I don't need 100. I need 9.
So precise.
That's right.
Yeah, y'all bring 100.
You give me this team, y'all don't have a chance.
This is like the dream team in '92.
And it's just funny that she starts it from a point of history. And you're thinking, okay, she's going to break this down by what happened in these 2 separate wars. And here's how this was broken down. And here's how the treaty came about. And so this is what would occur. And, of course, as she takes a shot, right, well, y'all disarmed yourselves. So I get it. You got to level the playing field with us.
I'm good with that.
But we only need 9.
That's right.
And then the 9 she lines out.
It's just so great.
Cody Gribble, by the way, the golfer who gave him a little tap.
Cody Gribble?
Yeah, send him on his way.
Yeah, just a little tap on the tail and that thing jumped right in the water. I love it. There ain't there's that old, and there's that, you probably remember, I think we played it before. The dude, it was the black comedian, he was like, if somebody invaded the South, he was like, by the time the Marines actually got there, he was like, the rednecks would have already taken care of any sort of invasion.
Yes.
He was like, other countries don't have what we have. We have rednecks.
Yes.
And they're armed to the nines.
We have people that are armed to the teeth.
Yeah.
And their cousin, and they can get to anywhere by truck in 2 minutes.
That's right. By the time the Marines got, all they'll see is tire marks and beer cans. We already took care of it, boys. We're headed home.
You're going to be studying your map out in the field, and the rednecks will have you surrounded.
That's right. Things to be done and over with quickly. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. Sign up. Get somebody signed up that you know, maybe you go to church with, for that siding remodel from Southern Exteriors with top of the line James Hardy Siding. SouthernExteriors.co, SouthernExteriors.co. Got to do it by December 1st. Get nominating now. Y'all have a great weekend. We appreciate you being here. It's so much fun to do this show, and it's so important. You're such an important part of it, because without you, there's no us. It just doesn't exist. And without the ad partners, no us. So please support them whenever you have something that you need that falls into their wheelhouse, into their category. But otherwise, have a great weekend. Go Dogs. Beat Texas. And for Los and Jure, my name is Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
It's midnight and the phone rings. It's a loved one calling from jail. They had a little too much fun at the holiday party and got pulled over. Now what? Time to call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. A Second Chance will get your loved one home quickly. For 20 years, they've been helping folks with 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham and are available 24/7. For fast, professional, discreet services, call 404-BAILOUT. That's 404-BAILOUT, or visit atlbail.com. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us.